Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmie. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us this week. We are excited, as usual, obviously. It's been, we've had some wild stuff lately, some crazy episodes. This is no different. Heads up, just a fair warning, pretty gross. This one gets a bit gross at the end, and yeah, it's gross. So, you know, if you're sensitive to grossness, I don't know. I mean, it's not murder, so I mean, it's, I guess, sort of. No, it's just as gross. It's all gross. Right. So never mind all that. Hope you enjoyed last week and the week before and the week before. I feel like we've been on a roll here lately with crazy ass stories, right from Blackie Schwamb, and it's been a wild ride. So.
Surprising wild, too.
Yeah, people you've never heard of. Yeah. Here is somebody this happened very recently, and we have been, I don't know, maybe tweeted this story maybe 6,000 times probably. So, you know what? Let's get it over with and do it here. Right. We were waiting for the sentencing to happen, but COVID keeps delaying it. Long story, but you'll see the long story. But thank you guys, first of all, for everything you've done for us this week. If you have not done it yet, please get on Apple Podcasts, that purple icon, give us 5 stars. It doesn't matter what you say. Say you're following instructions, following directions. It's not the point. The point is that they help the show a lot, and we don't know why. So please do that. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your crime and sports and small town murder needs.
What else?
And also, you can get your tickets there.
What?
Tickets to the virtual live show. Wow. We're going to do that. It's October 29th. Yeah. And it's, I guess you can call it small town murder, but really it fits just as well with crime and sports. It's the all violent felon edition of the prisoner dating game.
Great.
Where you will see the people before Jimmie will see them, but he will hear their pitch and decide on one. Then he gets to not only see them, but hear what atrocity they've committed. How bad of a choice he's made.
I will dress appropriately.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. Yeah. So check on that. October 29th. Good stuff there. Tickets are on sale at shutupandgivememurder.com.
Great.
So do that. Also, listen to Small Town Murder, because what are you doing otherwise? I don't know what you're thinking. Hey, listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie while you're at it, too, because we did Bedazzled this week. Oh. That movie sucks. But the movie being bad to Elizabeth Hurley being hot ratio is just so far off. It's just not even, it's too much.
I didn't see that one, but Hexed was a movie that was very similar.
Same thing.
And that chick, I forget who that is. That was the first body double that I ever saw. I found out later there was a body double. But amazing body that they I forget who she
You don't see famous boobs generally.
It's very rare.
If you don't see their face in the shot, that's not
famous.
That's the way that works. That's you learn that as a teenage boy.
Thank you for your gift, Jamie.
Looking for boobs. Looking for boobs as a teenage boy. Is that her boobs? 14. Where's the boobs? So anyway, do all of that. And if you want to have even more fun, you should sign up for Patreon, because our bonus episodes are awesome on Patreon.
They're so fun.
Last week's Crime and Sports bonus episode was prison sports teams just kind of the history of prison sports, and we had a ball with that shit. And you get access to all the Small Town Murder bonus episodes too. It was famous murder houses and how they were sold and all that sort of stuff last week on that. The next one in 2 weeks for Crime and Sports is going to be sports songs, like the Super Bowl Shuffle, but we won't talk about that one. No. We've talked about Wrestle Rock Rumble. Well, there's so many more. We'll talk about the wrestling albums. It's going to be
dead ass serious.
Hilarious. You can find all of that and more at patreon.com/crime and sports. Anybody above the $5 level gets access to everything. And if you just want to be a good person, want good karma, you like the shows, you want to hear a shout out, Jimmie will mispronounce your name at the end of the show. You can do that very easily over at PayPal using our email address, crimeandsports@gmail.com. That said, let's do this, Jimmie.
All right.
Let's get into a gross story, shall we?
Yeah.
Want to hate a guy?
Yeah.
Yay. There's been too many lately that are like, we're on the fence about them.
Right.
We're like, well, I hate this guy, and I don't like what he did, but I kind of like his personality, or it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like Blackie Schwamm was a dick, but he's kind of fun.
Kind of root for him.
He's going around going, hey, what are you doing there, guy? Hey there, fella. You know, he's flipping a nickel. He's chewing on a toothpick.
It was fun crime.
He's like a 40s gangster. That's hilarious, you know? Listen here there, pal.
Right.
Listen here, sonny. He's one of those guys. That's funny. And so let's just hate a guy today.
Great.
Let's just get right into it here. Kellen Winslow Jr.
betcha.
Of course he is. And he tries to do the two sometimes, but no, he's a fucking junior.
He tried to pass it off as a second.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's second, sometimes it's junior, but he's a junior. His father is senior, he's junior. First, middle, and last name are the same.
Yeah.
You're fucking junior, chief. Sorry. Don't care if the second sounds more, I don't know.
I didn't find out he was a junior until he was arrested.
Really?
I didn't ever see them put junior
That's
or two
funny.
on a jersey, or even say when they said his name during games. I don't remember them ever mentioning junior.
His dad was such a great player that I think it's just assumed. Maybe I don't know. His dad's a Hall of Fame tight end. So
Right.
I mean, he comes up playing the same position and. Yeah, he's Kellen Boswell Jr. Boswell Winslow Jr.
Was that because of the Boz?
No, I don't. His
Wait,
dad's
no,
name is,
obviously.
his dad's middle name is Boswell. He was born in like 1950, so I
His
doubt
dad's middle name is Boswell.
Yeah, they're both middle name is
Okay.
Kellen Boswell Winslow.
That's a ridiculous middle name.
It's silly, isn't it? It's kind of, especially if you add the second to that. If you say Kellen, Boswell Winslow the second, you need an Esquire or something of that nature afterwards, or doctor or
DDS,
something.
anything.
Yeah, but if you see this guy, just Kellen Winslow, you find out what a fucking idiot he is, and let's do it.
Okay.
So he's born July 21st, 1983.
Okay.
So he's a younger guy.
Much younger than me.
Younger than us, and he's grosser than us too, which is he's born in San Diego, and he grows up his whole life in San Diego because his dad played for the Chargers his entire career.
Okay.
His dad was a great player. His dad played from 79 to 87.
My word.
For the Chargers, and he was awesome. He had 3 years of over 1,000 yards of receiving.
Yeah.
He led the league in receptions 2 years in a row. In 80 and 81, he was an All-Pro 3 times, a Pro Bowler 5 times.
I'd never leave that town either.
That's what I'm saying.
They're gonna love you.
He played the whole time there, and he's a Hall of Famer too. So if your dad's a Hall of Famer in that town, you're going to get treated well.
In 8 years, he made the fucking Hall of Fame by being just the greatest thing.
Yeah, nine seasons, but
Yeah. Is that 9?
9 seasons, yeah.
78 to 87,
79,
yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, yeah, it's 9 seasons.
And 79, too.
Yeah, and 79 and 87. 9 seasons, but for a tight end, that's a lot of time, too.
Yeah.
That's especially back then.
Yeah.
Before HGH, guys didn't... Before all this, back then there was steroids, like just jam testosterone into you, and vitamins. There was really very little in between.
Also, violence.
Yeah.
The football was actually
And
a
violent.
rough sport to play then.
Oh, and especially for a receiver. If a receiver goes in a tight end, if you go over the middle and jump up for a ball, they were allowed to hit you in the fucking air.
Right.
That was like...
And that's where the tight end plays.
Look up he's not a tight end, but look up Lynn Swann highlights, and they're all him jumping up for balls and guys hitting him in the legs and him helicoptering to the fucking turf, to the hard 70s AstroTurf, and then getting up and walking away. You're like, oh my God, that would have killed me.
Right.
But that was allowed back then. So your receivers had a shorter lifespan. Now receivers Larry Fitzgerald's like, was he 57 years old? I think he said he said he was just going to play until he decided to get his Social Security. I feel like at this point, that's what he's doing.
I think he's actually going back to college to get his master's now.
Yeah, and play a few more years, and then could get redrafted. I think they could just play forever. They never get hit anymore.
Yeah,
they really don't. You're not allowed to hit a receiver.
Then he's going to get his PhD.
Yeah, if you're not allowed to hit him until he has a chance to not let you hit him, come down with the ball, then the only way a receiver would ever get hit hard is if he was running down the field while another man's running at him full speed and he doesn't see him and lets him hit him. That's the only other fucking time it would happen.
Or if they just play chicken and see who is standing after the hit.
Maybe,
which is not a thing.
That usually doesn't happen. Someone's going out of bounds.
Yeah.
So his parents were not. He wasn't born into a happy home. Put it that way.
Really?
His father had just filed for divorce from his mother, and they were in the middle of a nasty divorce when he was born. So that's not a good. That's just not good. I mean, you don't want to have a kid in the middle of your divorce.
Right.
That's just going to add more paperwork, I feel like, to the whole proceeding. So there was all sorts of allegations back and forth. His mom, Katrina, accused Kellen Sr. of assaulting her on one occasion, and the court issued mutual restraining orders.
Sweet Jesus.
It was ugly. It was very, very ugly. And he had a son, Kellen Sr. here, had a son with another woman, also 3.5 months before Kellen was born.
Oh, no.
Another child was born, not from this woman, obviously. So
yeah, I figure that's probably the start of the divorce.
That's going to get contentious.
Yeah.
If you add, that sort of thing and a divorce and hormones and cheating.
Right.
I mean, he's lucky she didn't kill him.
No amount of...
He kind of deserved it at that point. I'm surprised. Everyone would have went, Jesus, you asked for that one, asshole.
No amount of beautiful San Diego is going to quell those fights.
No, that's rough. Let's just go out to the beach and look at the sunset. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck your sunset. And fuck Dan Fouts. Fuck his fat bearded ass. I don't care anymore. I fucking had it. I've had it with you. So as Junior here, Kellen Jr. was growing up, Kellen Sr. kind of made him play other sports as well, not just concentrate on football. Okay. Basically, don't just be what I do. Because Kellen Jr. obviously was very much into football. His dad played for the goddamn Chargers.
And he's everything that matters about San Diego.
That's what I mean. His mom said he used to, put his dad's Charger helmet on and line up his stuffed animals and, tackle them all, basically. Bust through the line when he was 3 years old. Yeah. Just jump on all the stuffed animals. That was his line here. So finally, he made him do a bunch of other shit, made him play basketball. Because Kellen Sr. and Jr. are both 6'5". They're both big guys, too. So very large people. Kellen Sr. is a little slimmer than Jr. Jr.'s a big kind of a muscle guy. Yeah, he's more of a muscle guy, which, again, different science involved there. So finally, though, in high school, he let him play football, knowing that, obviously, what coach wasn't going to try to get him on the team?
If nothing else, you're at least getting looked at. Always.
You're 6'5", 200-something pounds, and your dad's a Hall of Fame tight end. Maybe try it. Just give it a shot. You might be good at it, So finally, he lets him play football a little bit here. And his dad is also, in addition to being in the NFL Hall of Fame, he is in our Hall of Fame for silver-haired middle-aged white men. Kelvin Winslow Silver. Never mind senior. Kellen Winslow Silver is his fucking name, this guy. He is he's going to win the Golden Gilretha. Put it that way.
Really?
We've never had a dad win the Golden Gilretha. He's going to win it this year in the Scummy Awards. We have 2 nominees this year. Actually 3, because he's up for Scumbag of the Year.
Right.
So between him and his dad and then his mom later too.
Stop it.
It is. And the wife too. We could have 4 nominees this week from this episode. This is going to be a watershed episode here.
How do you do it? How do you muster the words?
Oh, boy, does he muster.
Stop it.
His dad has no shame in defending him forever. And I'm talking about through the worst of allegations. And if you don't know this story, please don't Google it.
Yeah.
Just listen, because it's
hang in here.
Disgusting. So anyway, he goes to Patrick Henry High School in San Diego for his freshman and sophomore years.
Yeah.
And then he transfers to Scripps Ranch High School.
Sounds very San Diego.
It does. Scripps Ranch.
The upscalest of San Diego.
Yeah, it sounds like it's on a cliff.
Yeah. Where do you go to high school? Scripps Ranch.
It's like...
What?
Like when we were driving... Remember when we were
Say
driving...
again?
You know exactly what I'm talking about, too. When we were driving, that time when we drove to see OJ's house, we were driving around in L.A. waiting to do something.
Oh, that school.
We saw that school in Pacific Palisades, and we're like, that's a fucking school? No.
It is unbelievable.
No, you have to earn going there during the day. You don't just... You're forced. You have to do it. Fuck you. Are you kidding me? It was this beautiful school that overlooked the ocean, the fucking ocean.
The Jimmie. Football stadium
overlooked the ocean.
You could kick the ball in the Pacific. It's crazy.
Shit. Oh, it bounced. Fuck, it's in the ocean. Well, the current's taking it now. That's how crazy this was.
Another ball, ref.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We have plenty.
How could you have any ambition? High school that's it. I just want to stay here forever, man.
It was unbelievable.
If they make me graduate, I'll just get a job here, bro. It's beautiful. I'm just going to sweep and
so sick.
Look at the sunset, man. It's just pretty. It was ridiculous. That's what this sounds like.
Didn't Jay Moore say he coaches there? Or he has something to do with something?
Something to do with
I think he does because he said he had to go over to the school later this week.
Oh, Jesus.
I think he has something to do with their sports program.
If he could fucking find it.
Motherfucker.
If he could fucking find it. in his haze. So,
or find the wherewithal to actually desire to leave such an amazing neighborhood.
Yeah, that's
what the
other
fuck?
thing. Ridiculous.
I don't know how anybody that's successful that lives there goes and continues to be successful somewhere else.
That's
Why?
the thing. It's Jerry Seinfeld. He's been saying this for 40 years that you can't be funny at the beach. He's like, no, there's no funny people from the beach.
You've done it.
It's just, what is there to be upset about? What is there? There's no rancor. There's no anything.
Nothing even smells bad.
No, funny people come from tight places with closed in with a lot of people in the house
where
and
it sucks.
Arguing and things, and that's when your brain works. Otherwise, you're just like, this is nice. Why would you be funny? There's no reason to be funny. You're funny in reaction to stuff you don't like, not fucking, this is beautiful, man. I'm going to make jokes about how pretty this is. What do you make jokes about? Stupid.
What am I going to be mad at?
No, so this school, notable alumni, he's the only NFL player that's ever went to this school. So I thought when he transferred, I'm like, he must be transferring to like a football powerhouse, like high school, but not at all. He's the only NFL player ever.
Want to make it as easy as possible for him.
Apparently, a few other people. Adrian Brody is the class of 1998 from here. Yeah, they went to school together. They were, he's class of 2001, Kellen Winslow, so... He went to school. Yeah, he went to school. Oh, no, they just missed him. He came in and he would have just missed Adrian Brody. Let's see here. Kyle Mooney, who's a Saturday Night Live cast member.
That guy's great.
He was graduated 2003.
Really?
So he would have went to school with him here. And
Kyle's got a great bit that's on YouTube about being bad at comedy, and he's amazing at it.
Wow, shit.
He's amazing at being terrible at comedy.
That's funny. I don't know much about him.
I love him.
Nicole Ossinger, who's was on the 2016 Olympic trampoline gymnastics team.
What?
I hope she does something bad because I want to talk about that. That'd be a hilarious episode. Trampoline gymnastics.
Stop it!
I swear to God, she's on the team. She was on the team.
It's in the Olympics?
As of 2016, at least it was.
You bounce best?
Trampoline
what the fuck?
Gymnastics. I don't know if it's like choreographed, like swimming. Do they synchronize themselves? I don't know how the fuck it works.
I hate that more than anything.
It sounds nuts. And so Kellen is a great high school player. I mean, in high school, he's just physically, it's ridiculous. He's a grown giant man with NFL genetics who's just dominating other children at this point. So he's going to go to college, and he's being recruited by pretty much he can go wherever he wants to go to college. I mean, not only the pedigree of being second-generation NFL or second-generation player is so big with these guys, too.
Course, yeah.
It's so big because they know that you understand things. You understand what it's like. You understand what the practices are going to be like. You're not going to get there and freak out and go, this is too much work. And you know it. So that's why Eli and Peyton Manning were so highly touted. Anybody's kid gets a little extra boost. It's like wrestling is the same thing. In wrestling, it's second generation guys. They know what it's like, so immediately that's half the battle is being able to handle shit in that.
I don't like the force of trying to make, especially when somebody's a Hall of Famer and somebody's really good. I don't like pushing their kid to do it also because they're never going to live up to the hype no matter what they do. No,
and that's the thing with this too. That's why his dad said he encouraged him to do other shit to see if, he has anything else interested in him, but all he wanted to do was football. I mean, he grew up around football. I would too.
I'd want it.
If my dad played for an NFL team and I grew up like going to the stadium and shit, I'd want to do that too. That's what I would think.
Have some expectation of at least doing okay.
I would think that's normal. Like, that's what you do. Then you just go play there. I want to work where my dad works, one of those things. So he said that he was all set to sign the night before the letter of intent day for colleges. He was going to go to the University of Washington, but he was 17 at the time when he graduated. So his dad had to sign his intent letter with him. He had to, as a guardian, and his father refused to sign it. He wouldn't let him go to Washington.
Where does he make him go?
So he says he encouraged him to go to Michigan State, where they had a black head coach and a black athletic director. And he said, because he went to Missouri, I want to say, his dad. So he just said that you want a school that understands who you are, and you want a school with some black faculty as far as the coaching and all that sort of shit.
That's cool as shit.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. So they kind of made a kind of a compromise on the whole thing. He didn't want to go to Michigan. He wouldn't let him go to didn't want to go to Michigan State. Wouldn't let him go to Washington. So they choose the University of Miami instead. Because his position coach, Curtis Johnson, was one of 3 black assistants on the staff. So he said, okay, you can go there. Kellen Sr. says, what type of father would I be to know what I know, to go through what I've gone through and not discuss these things with my child? I'd be the worst father in the world. Race is an important issue in this country, and you're almost burying your head in the sand if you don't talk to your children about it. It's denial. Okay. So, I mean, that makes sense. He went through, he did it. So that's why he's saying it makes sense. So they argued about it. And then finally, I guess when they're younger than 21, you have to have your legal guardian sign the letter of intent, which is weird.
What?
Even if you're over 18, which makes no sense.
So that means every college kid has to have their parents do it?
Apparently, I guess so, which I don't understand how that is. You're 18. You can enter into legal contracts at 18. Yeah. I guess not all legal contracts, but apparently not that one.
You can die for your country.
I guess so. You can do that. You can vote. You can do a lot of things.
Wild.
So, Kellen Jr. said, quote, he wasn't going to sign the papers, and I asked why. Why this? Why that? You have to let me go. This is my decision. It isn't your decision. And he said, I know it's your decision, but you're still immature about this, and you don't know what's going to happen at Washington. I don't trust them. So didn't trust him. They went to Miami. Now, Miami, before he gets there, though, he has a little bit of an issue where he gets in a big old brawl. Of course.
In San Diego?
Oh, yeah, in San Diego.
Boy.
Ends up breaking a young man's jaw, a much smaller man's jaw, mind you. Yeah. So it apparently was on May 2nd of 2001. There was a brawl taking place among approximately 15 teenagers. So that's a full-fledged brawl.
Yeah.
That's a brawl. By the time the police there, people were dispersing, but they did find 18-year-old Ahmed Habib on the ground bleeding from his face.
Yeah, This is Dad's problem, too, by the way.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Well, we'll find out about that. So that he was taken to a hospital. He's got a broken jaw and a bunch of other fucking injuries. Over $100-something thousand worth of medical bills to put his face back together. Not good. His attorney here, Habib's attorney, Frank Shank, he was talking about the injuries here. And now the police haven't made any arrests during this because they got there at the end, but it seemed like they said they weren't going to file charges. There was 15 kids, and it seemed like what they called mutual combat. It seemed like all these kids wanted to fight. Yeah. So they were all fighting, and that was that.
Here at this time, and they met him.
In other words, it seems like we don't want to sort all that out.
Yeah.
There's 15 kids. We weren't there. We can't trust what any of them say.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we supposed to do? Start charging 15 kids for assault on each other? Let's just say never mind.
Yeah. Except for we have somebody with bad face laceration.
That's the problem. And he's Kellen is 6'5". Mm-hmm. He's about 230 pounds at this point.
He's dangerous.
The kid he beat up is 5'10", 160.
Wow.
So I mean that's not even fair. I mean that's you don't like as a bigger person you don't fight people smaller like that much smaller than you. Yeah. You just say no.
I give Ahmad a shitload of credit. That is balls to stand up there and take a shot from him.
Well, I mean, he took more than that. So apparently he got knocked down, broke his jaw. Apparently Kellen was kicking him while he was kicking him in the face while he was on the ground. And broke his jaw, injured his right eye socket, and all this other shit. So the guy, Habib, decides that he's going to file a $3 million lawsuit against this man. And also named is Kellen Winslow Sr. Is named in the lawsuit as well because he's got the money. Yep. And also Kellen was only 17 at the time.
He's his responsibility.
That's the way that goes. And so the attorney for Mr. Habib said that, there was a lot of students there, and that's what... Basically, Kellen Winslow's attorney was trying to say, like, there's a lot of kids there. I mean, who knows what happened to him? But, like, everybody said, oh, no, he kicked him in the face. Like, it wasn't, even his own friends were saying that.
Right.
What does Silver Dad say? What does Kellen Winslow Silver say?
Yeah.
He says, quote, I told him he needs to concentrate on college and that things will be dealt with at home. I said, that's why you have a father, and that's why he went to law school, because his dad went to law school later on. So he said, I'll take care of it, son. I told him not to fucking do stupid shit. I told him, I'll take care of it. You have enough pressure.
What a thing.
That's Silver, man.
Would your dad do that?
No. My dad would have went, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
How stupid are you? He would have told everybody how stupid I am. He would have said, my son's an idiot. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. He's got a huge future ahead of him. He's signed to this big college. He could be in the NFL, and he's out fucking kicking tiny people in the face. What's wrong with this asshole?
He's fighting kids that are 5'10", that have nothing.
Yeah, and then he'd talk about how he fought me afterwards. Don't worry, I took care of it.
I broke his jaw.
Yeah, I got that there. So he ended up going to the University of San Diego Law School, the father, but doesn't practice law, and I don't think had a license to practice law. He just went to law school.
Just to know his rights.
Yeah. He said, quote, I have not been served with the lawsuit papers yet. Here, I've been on the road in and out for a month and a half. I cannot comment about what I do not know about. But he does say that there are still a bunch of discrepancies about what happened. He said that he was going to, he says that his son was going to the aid of someone else. And then he was attacked. He was just being a good Samaritan. He said that the kid hit him, the Habib kid hit him, and Kellen was just defending himself. Okay. He could have picked him up and shoved him across the, Like, I remember once, and this is showing how long ago this was, when I was a teenager, we were in Blockbuster Video, and I was with my friend, and he's a tiny kid. I remember he used to wrestle in high school, and he wrestled at 110 pounds. Okay. He's 5'3". Yeah. And for some reason, we got in an argument, and I think maybe he had a couple, and he wanted to fight me in Blockbuster Video. And I remember just going, I'm not going to beat you up in Blockbuster Video. Like, you are too small to fight me. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's not fucking... If I beat you up and a cop shows up, I look terrible. I look like I just beat up a child.
Every time.
I'm huge and you're tiny, so we can't do this at all. And that's the situation. No matter what happens, you got to be like, listen, motherfucker, I will mush you away. Right. I'll bitch slap you, but I'm not going to fucking actually hurt you. Right. You know, that's all you can do.
So you pushed him over the Sleepless in Seattle.
That's it.
And
so
you walked out.
Well, we went right over the comedy tapes section there. Yeah, there was just, Def Comedy Jam all over the place.
Martin Lawrence all over the floor.
Robin Williams live from San Francisco spread out. George Carlin's fucking... Yeah. It's everywhere, man. Yeah. It's all over the place.
So he claims he was just defending himself while he kicked a man in the face on the ground. That's how you defend yourself, apparently. Yeah,
that's the thing. He also says that the kid's fine, even though he was in the hospital for 2 days. His father here, Winslow Sr., Silver, sorry, he says, the kid was later at his high school graduation and he came off the stage celebrating. I'm happy to know he's okay in that sense. So he's trying to say he's not even hurt. Mm-hmm. I don't know how long later that was. Winslow Sr. also said that his son was protecting Gabe Sayers, who is the nephew of Gale Sayers, Hall of Fame Bears running back. So,
so all the youngsters hang out together.
Yes, and Winslow Sr. is Gale Sayers is Junior's godfather. Mm-hmm. So they're all connected.
Boys are real close.
They're close. And Winslow Silver says, quote, Kellen looked at Gabe like a little brother. Kellen had his cell phone. Somebody called him and told him that Gabe was being jumped on. So Kellen went to get his little brother and got involved. Kellen told me I was trying to get Gabe, and he, talking about Habib, started wailing on me. Kellen's a good kid. This is the first time he's ever been in trouble. First time he's ever been caught for being in trouble. He says that, first of all, this kid starts wailing on him.
Yeah.
So you're 5'10", you're 160, you're going to go 6'5", 240. I'm going to start fucking hitting that guy.
Yeah. The other question is he had his cell phone on him, so he showed up to his aid. How fucking close were you? Because usually
a fight would be over by the time.
Done.
Yeah. It's not like a brawl goes on for. Yeah. I hope it's still going on, this brawl. It's got caught in traffic.
Yeah.
It's been 20 minutes. It might be something. So, the coach of Miami here, Coker, he says, quote, I've talked to Kellen and I've talked to his father. His father didn't seem to be concerned at all. I think Kellen's a little bit concerned. You just don't want things like that out there. It's an unfortunate situation, but something has to be dealt with. It's something he has to deal with.
Yeah.
In other words, we're not getting involved.
It's not my issue.
Silver, hope he catches balls.
He's not mine yet.
That's all I care about. Yeah. So Winslow Jr., he declined comment, but they blamed Habib through his attorney. Sure. His attorney said that, quote, a gang of his thug friends.
Oh, my.
A gang of his thug friends, Habib, we're talking about, who attacked Gabriel Sayers. And so, good God.
What are you going to do?
What are you supposed to do?
Drop some lugs on people's faces.
That's it. So they said that the lawyer for Habib says that the fight started it was a racially motivated brawl.
Really?
Apparently, there were some There was some, you got to remember too.
This is 2000.
This is 2001,
okay.
But May of 2001, so, whatever. But hasn't been, if this was 6 months later, you'd understand. You'd not understand, but you'd know exactly what fucking happened if you said it's a racial thing. Right. But I don't know who said what to who, but apparently there was some sort of cultural struggle here that went on between these two groups, and causing a kick to the face and some broken jaw here. Jesus. So that's all fine. That gets dealt with. It ends up being dealt with being settled out of court. Really? No terms disclosed. They just found out that I think it was $140,000 worth of medical bills the kid had. So
I wonder how much it was, James.
It was probably $1 million or something. I bet it was something, or $500,000, a decent number, I'm sure.
Generally 3 times the
medical bills. That would make sense.
And that's pain and suffering. So then you add in the bills. I'll bet it was 5. Maybe
$600,000, $1 million, maybe. Yeah, just for the NFL factor.
Right.
They throw in an extra $500,000.
Yeah, and then make it go away.
And then it's gone. That's what it was, because he had to get playing football here because he was with the 2001 Miami Hurricanes, who go 12-0.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was on that national champions that year. Not bad at all,
and
Larry.
Was here, yes.
This is the Rose Bowl one, the Fiesta Bowl one. Didn't they lose that game? That was when McGahee blew his knee out.
Yep, you're right.
I watched that. If I remember watching that. So anyway. They do really well this year, obviously. They go all the way to beat Nebraska in the Rose Bowl, 37-14. This is the Ken Dorsey Miami team.
A stomping.
Yeah.
Jesus.
This was Ken Dorsey. Clinton. They listen to their running backs. Okay, this is crazy. Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, Frank Gore.
Sweet Jesus.
Those are their running backs.
All 3 starters.
All 3 are Pro Bowl NFL starters.
Unbelievable.
That's to have all 3 of those guys. Just which one do you want to put in? And they're different too. Like it's amazing. You got Gore will pound you, Portis will dance. You got McGahee, who's like a mix of the both.
Yep.
Like it's someone like they were building, like almost like they were creating players for their Madden team, and they're like, I need a back like this, I need a back like that.
Yeah.
Clinton Portis was the starter. He had 1,200 yards that year and averaged 5.5 a carry. He was crushing it.
He did that shit in the NFL too.
Yeah. Well, Frank Gore had 62 rushes that year, so he was a younger guy. He averaged 9.1 yards a rush. He had 62 rushes for 562 yards. Do you know how ridiculous it is to average 9.1 yards a rush?
Wow.
For 60-something rushes?
Damn near first down every time.
That's just about
unreal.
And they had what's his name, Najee Davenport too.
Really?
Yeah, they had him too.
What the fuck?
Just keep him.
How did they do that?
I don't know. They had Jarrett Payton. They had this is wild. They had Jeremy Shockey, who was Winslow was backing up Jeremy Shockey. This is an unfair team. This is just an NFL team.
Obviously, they were going to win.
Clearly, this is not going to be easy here. So during his freshman season, he's backing up Jeremy Shockey, who's an All-American and first-round draft pick the next year. He's basically a special teamer this year for Kellen, but he's only one of 4 true freshmen to play on the team that year.
That's awesome.
Normally, guys are redshirted because they're not physically ready, but he's 6'5", 230, so they're like, get out there, motherfucker, do it. So, they go all the way, like we said. Antrell Roll was on this team. Sean Taylor's on this team.
Their defense is insane, too.
It's just an NFL team.
What the fuck?
That's why there's no shock that they crushed Nebraska there. He only has 2 receptions this year for 37 yards or 34 yards. So, he's
averaging 17 yards a grab.
He's behind Jeremy Shockey, for fuck's sake. What's he going to do? So 2002 comes around. They go 12-1 this year. They are second because this is the year they lose the national championship game to Ohio State. It's 31-24. This was the saddest thing because Willis McGahee was a lock top 5 draft pick.
Yeah.
And this was his last college game in the national championship. And in the second half of the fucking game, he blows his knee out.
Damn it.
And you saw it, and he was just on the ground. You could just see him being like, millions.
Yeah. Watching it just fly out of the stadium.
He's insured. I mean, he's going to be a millionaire no matter what. Even if he never played in the NFL, he'd be a millionaire because those guys are all insured, those first-round draft picks, but not to the extent of what he would have got to be a top 5
double
pick.
what he made.
Yeah, and who knows? He had a great career, but who knows what his career would have been if he didn't blow his knee out right then.
He actually played for quite a few years in comparison to what he should have.
Oh, yeah. His knee came back fine, but it was just sad because you just know he just went, you just saw him plummeting. Saw everybody take him off their draft board. Immediately.
Not that guy.
Not him. It's like, fuck. So
a few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility. nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Oh, anyway, they lost that year, and Winslow became the star this year. He was a finalist for the Mackey Award, which is the top tight end in the country. Mm-hmm. He's named First Team All-America by CNN SI, and he set records for a Miami tight end with 57 receptions.
Wow.
So he crushed it. He came in and they said, Jeremy Shockey, who?
Yeah.
Like, he really was great. His best game was during the Fiesta Bowl, where he caught 11 passes for 122 yards and a touchdown.
Awesome.
Which is dominating, and they lost that game, obviously.
Oh, never mind. Go on. Keep going. It's all right. I was going to ask a dumb question. Doesn't matter. I was just going to ask you if Aaron Hernandez played here, but he played for the Gators.
He played for the Gators, yeah.
I was wondering if he came in after this, but listen, it's Florida.
It's Florida. Whatever. It's all the same swamp. Don't worry about it. They were bitten by the same mosquitoes. Who fucking cares? So he has 57 receptions for 726 yards and 8 touchdowns this year. So pretty good for a college tight end.
Absolutely.
Tight ends aren't used that much in college. You either go over the top or you're a running team or whatever, but you don't see a lot of tight ends are an NFL thing.
It's a safe game too, with the tight end, where you do your checkdowns and you get your tight end because nobody's open. Right?
Yeah, over the middle. There's 8 yards over here off on the sideline. Exactly. So 2003 Miami, they go 11-2 this year. They finish 5th overall, and they beat Florida State in the Orange Bowl 16-14 that year. He doesn't have quite as good of a year, but he still has a great year. Not numbers wise, not quite as good here. But he catches 60 passes for 605 yards. He wins the John Mackey Award as the best tight end in college. He's a unanimous first team All-American. He's just the best tight end in college. Now, if you need a tight end, this is your guy here. He receives first team honors from the Associated Press for his All-American and everything else. Just every award you can think of. Right. He had no chance at the Heisman because that just doesn't go to tight ends.
Sure.
I don't know what you'd have to do as a tight end, but
that's just receivers, running backs, and quarterbacks. Huh?
It's mainly running backs and quarterbacks, pretty much, because because even a receiver they tend to look at as, well, if the quarterback didn't get him the ball, whereas a running back kind of does it and a quarterback does it. I guess it seems to be the way they look at it.
Fucks the lineman.
Yeah, I would say fucks them, fucks the defenders. Very few Heisman winning defenders. Very few. So then there's a game in 2003 against Tennessee where they beat Miami that game. And I guess during that play, there was a sweet play. Devin Hester was on that team, the amazing kick returner for the Bears there.
Ever. So good.
Winslow was blocked by 2 Tennessee people, and basically they talked about that at the end, that he was taking up 2 blockers and all that shit. So he was asked about that afterwards in the locker room. Keep in mind, this is 2003.
Yep.
There are not 1 but 2 wars happening in this country at the time. And they asked him, hey, you did great out there taking out 2 blockers. And he said, Maybe the dumbest fucking thing ever. Let's give him an in their own word. This is so stupid. He needs an in their own words. Keep in mind the time. 2 wars. This is not great. Okay. In their own words, quote, it's war. They're out there to kill you, so I'm out there to kill them. We don't care about anybody but this you. They're going after my legs. I'm going to come right back at them. I'm a soldier. No, he said, I'm a fucking soldier. Excuse me.
And Pat Tillman was just killed.
2 wars are happening. I'm a soldier. And they're like, you're a spoiled college kid whose dad played in the NFL, motherfucker.
Your dad's a Hall of Famer, dipshit.
Your dad pays your lawsuits off. That's how fucking spoiled you are. What are you talking about?
Holy
how
shit.
Fucking dare you say that?
How
when people
tone deaf.
Fucking deserts places dying and you're over there going, I'm a soldier. While you're going to go get pussy after the game. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ. They should have taken him, just dropped him right off in the middle of Fallujah. Right.
Throw him an M16 and
in
say,
his Miami uniform.
Can you go save the world, soldier?
Hey, we got a soldier for you. And just drop him in there. Shoulder pads still on with a fucking parachute and a gun, sweat, eye black and everything going, what? Let's go, soldier. They're that way, motherfucker.
They're going to take your legs out, too.
Yeah, they're looking for more than that. You know what else takes your legs out? IEDs.
Yeah. They're going to take your legs off.
Yeah. That's the thing. He didn't say they're trying to take my legs off. Right. That would be a different game. Then you could say you're a soldier. Till then, shut the fuck up.
What a dummy.
That's maybe the dumbest thing a person could say.
In a time, maybe patriotism was maybe at an all-time high for America, at least for the past 30 years.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of anti-war shit, but nobody was soldiers, like being in wars. If anything, if you were, pro-war, you supported. If you were anti-war, you felt bad they had to go fight. But either way, you weren't like, yeah, fuck them. Like, he's
he's getting a free college ride.
Yeah.
So he's a soldier.
This obviously was a bit of a kerfluffle for him. Didn't look good. So he needed to apologize for his comments, and he releases this statement through the university that he absolutely didn't write. 100% the university PR person said, you're releasing a statement saying this,
please.
You stupid fuck. Jesus Christ. Quote, after speaking with the press, I immediately regretted my comments and felt embarrassed for my family, my team, the University of Miami. They made sure to put that in there. Our fans, alumni, and myself. There was a janitor that used to work here in 87. I feel terrible for him.
I feel sorry for drug lords that use Miami as a go-between.
Yeah, all those kids out there with big puffy Miami jackets. I feel bad for them. All those 90s kids with the starter jackets back in the day. I feel bad for The Rock.
I feel bad for the color orange and green.
Sorry, Rock, man. Dwayne Johnson, my bad, brother. I know I'm ruining your reputation, too. I just feel terrible.
Al Pacino and all his friends and family.
Everybody, Brian De Palma, Michelle Pfeiffer, I'm sorry. I just wanted to tell everybody.
Anybody that had anything to do with this fucking city.
Very sorry. Apologize.
Fat Joe.
Everybody. Yahweh Ben Yahweh and fucking Robert Rogier. Them, I apologize to you.
If Pitbull,
Dexter,
when he
I'm
gets
sorry.
a career, can ever forgive me, I'd appreciate it.
Apologize to Dexter. The entire Miami crime scene unit team. Just everybody.
Pitbull, and also the breed of dogs, pit bulls. I'm really sorry.
I'm sorry to them, too, because I don't want to offend them, because I've really made an ass of myself.
And DMX seems to like him. I'm sorry,
Oh, God. He says, what I have learned from this experience is to take my triumphs and failures in stride. You said something dumb.
Yeah.
Nothing happened to you. He acts like something happened to you. You said a stupid thing of your complete own volition. Fuck, my outburst should in no shape or form be a reflection on this institution or the Miami football program. Have I mentioned they're not okay with what I said here?
Coach is really pissed.
Everybody's upset. Like, it's bad. I got old people who went here 40 years ago calling me like, this is fucked up.
They gave him my number.
It's bad. I haven't even gotten my check this week. That's how bad it is. They're that mad at me. Haven't gotten my check.
Yeah.
I didn't pay my mom's mortgage payment, and really, it's a problem. So he says, as for my reference to being a soldier in war, I meant no disrespect to the men and women who have served or are currently serving in the armed forces. I cannot begin to imagine the magnitude of war or its consequences. Yeah, you can't. That's the thing. There's no way to for you because you're a football player.
Also, in a world that's barely post 9/11, I'm a dipshit.
I'm a complete dipshit. I'm just 2 years removed. It's not good. So
the buildings are still on fire, man.
They're still sifting rubble.
Right.
Like, this is not a good look for you to say that shit.
Wow.
It's man, if they're going to treat me like a building that you're going to fly a plane into, man, I'm going to have to fucking fight back. That's all it is, because I'm a soldier. It's in war, goddammit. If they're going to come at me like up in my 104th floor, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
They hit me in the 104th, right around the 70th.
Yeah,
fucking guys
right there, bang, bang. Gonna hit me in my Goldman Sachs. What am I supposed to do about that shit? Okay, that was mean. But still, you get what we're saying.
He's a dipshit.
He's an idiot.
Right.
So, anyway.
I'm going to treat him like NYPD and the fucking fire department. I'm coming hard.
Coming hard.
1-2 punch with FDNY.
Ash from head to toe, baby. No. You
idiot.
are a spoiled brat, dipshit, asshole. So anyway, this gets him, like we said, the John Mackey Award, unanimous All-American, everything greatest guy ever award. They just love him. Everyone will overlook a stupid comment. So he goes to the combine where he is over 6'4", between 6'4" and 6'5", 251 pounds. Runs a 4.6240.
My word.
Which is really fast for a guy that size. That's a very big person.
It's mad athletic.
Like, yeah, if you saw that large of a person running that fast at you, you'd shit your pants. Right. That's how fucking big and fast that is. That's unnatural. That's I remember I saw in one of our Facebook groups, and I jumped in and make fun of it a little bit. The people were arguing about, could NFL players play fucking rugby? And I was like, for the first half of the game till everyone else was injured, yes. Right. Yes, they could, probably. Then when there was no one left, they'd have a really boring rest of the game while they sat there with their arms crossed, waiting for new people to be recruited because they've injured everyone and mangled them. There's no one who's 6'5", 251 running a 4.640 in rugby.
No.
They're like, well, the stamina, the cardiovascular. Right. I don't cardiovascular my ass. One hit and you will be in the fucking hospital.
We're going to see your cardiovascular.
Yeah.
It's going to be inside out.
It's going to be spread all over the fucking stand. So
all over the pitch? Is that what that's called?
This is not. This is a otherworldly athlete. Yeah. This is not of this planet. This is an alien that's been brought.
They'll open your scrum.
This is top 0.0001% of fucking human bodies that exist in the world. Right. Basically, this is,
and we destroy their brains.
And we're gonna mangle.
We're gonna scramble your eggs.
I'm gonna turn his brain into Jello. It's gonna wiggle back and forth, but not really do much. Basically. So there's a 3-cone drill. He's a 6.71. I don't know if that's good.
Sounds good.
Sounds fast to me.
I can't do it.
33-inch vertical jump for a guy who's fucking 250 pounds.
He doesn't have to get that high.
No, that's impressive, though. That's not bad. 10-foot broad jump. Mm-hmm. It's good shit here, so not bad at all. The 2004 NFL Draft comes around.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Number 1 overall, Jimmy?
2004?
2004.
Is that a Manning?
That is Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Of the San Diego Chargers.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was drafted by the Chargers.
They ain't getting him.
No, they're not. That'll be a trade with the Giants and all that.
Poor San Diego.
Oakland got Robert Gallery, number 2, the tackle.
Yeah.
Larry Fitzgerald, number 3.
My Christ, really?
Yeah, Larry, number 3. The funny thing is, he was 43 at the time. So he's very, very old now.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers, number 4.
Wow.
Sean Taylor, number 5.
You're talking about guys that have retired.
That's played good careers and Hall of Fame careers and retired. Literally. And won Super Bowls and everything else. Number 6 overall, the Cleveland Browns select Kellen Winslow Jr. So number 6 overall. Not bad. This comes after a trade with Detroit because they had to have Roy Williams, the receiver, who turned out to be a complete, utter pile of dog shit.
He was so hyped.
This was...
and then they got Megatron and it all went away.
That was great. The Detroit was just the worst draft-picking team for so long. They draft awful receivers. We'll draft 2 bad receivers in the first round.
Right.
Why? You don't even have a quarterback. The fuck are you drafting receivers for?
Yeah.
Christ almighty. D'Angelo Hall after that. This is just
great.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger, number 11. So... All those people could have had Ben Roethlisberger.
Wow.
Which is, who won a couple of Super Bowls.
Yeah,
It's pretty goddamn
he beat
good
the
player.
Cardinals for one.
There you go. Jonathan Vilma after that. This is a stacked draft, man. There's a lot of people. Will Fork in here.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Looking at this, there's so many. What is it? Ben Watson, the tight end. He was
great too.
Yeah, he was a Pro Bowler at some point here. Carlos Dansby.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Look at this fucking draft. Not bad at all. So, even Darnell Dockett in there. So
they got Darnell Dockett,
third round.
Dansby, and Fitzgerald all in the same draft.
Yep, third round.
That is impressive.
Second round, Dansby. Yeah, that's
how they run right there.
They were in the Super Bowl in 5 years.
Yeah,
and then
that's a home run draft. Good
it's a great
for them.
draft. Yeah. So now they were, of course, talking about with the Browns. Did you? Was he drafted because of his dad?
Yeah.
Why? He said, quote, "We didn't draft him because of his father, but there's a certain element of drive that adds to the I want to be better than dad attitude that we like." So this
is going to be the first time the Browns haven't struck out in their draft.
No shit. And I think this is Butch Davis, who I think was a Miami. Wasn't he Miami coach before he took the Browns job, I think?
Be a thing.
So I believe so he would be more open to a Miami alumnus. Okay. That's how that works. So 2004, he's going to be a Cleveland Brown. At the press conference, he calls himself the chosen one.
Oh, boy.
You haven't even signed a contract or caught a pass yet.
No.
You're the chosen one.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. He says that he expects one day to exceed the accomplishments of his father, who basically revolutionized the tight end position. Yeah. I'll be better than him, though, of course. It's fine.
I'm going to show my dad how this is really done.
Yeah, I'm going to... Listen, you've had your turn, asshole. Sit back. He said, "I'm not going to lie. I think I can be better." That's what he says. Now, his father agrees with him. He says that that the kid is more gifted than he was at 21. He said, quote, "I never ran like that." He said, "He's faster than I was. He's quicker than I was. And he has more exposure to the game than I did at any point in my career." So he knows more. But you can't. The desire you had coming from nothing to be an NFL player is not the same desire as he has. Just, I'll be better than my dad.
Exactly. There's a difference between a guy that wants to learn and a guy that thinks he knows it all. Yeah. That's a problem.
And also, it's also just the whoever the parent is who started something or did something, they're going to have more drive and desire and whatever than their shit kid. Right. Their shit kid might pretend that they're going to be as good as dad and do like shit like, I'm going to outdo my dad. But you're already comfortable. You just can't have that as much inner desire because you're given things.
In a league where Antonio like Gates is playing and Tony Gonzalez and Shannon Sharp, like there's already really great, and he thinks he's going to be as good as they are.
Oh, absolutely. He says that his versatility, or the father says that his versatility is going to allow the Browns to use him in a bunch of different roles. He's going to create mismatches because of his size and his speed.
Right.
Cornerbacks are going to be too small. Linebackers are going to be too slow.
Okay.
And that's kind of what happens when he's going well for a while here. He is offered a contract that is equal to the number 5 pick ahead of him.
Okay.
It's this is it includes a $7.2 million signing bonus that could have exceeded $13 million with incentives, and the contract would be worth over $40 million for fucking tight end who's never played in the NFL.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Browns said their offer would far exceed the $31 million deal that Tony Gonzalez signed in 2002 when he was already the best guy in the league. And
possibly ever.
Yeah, and included a $10 million signing bonus, which was the most ever given to a tight end, because theirs included, it wasn't 7.2 was the guy in front of him. They offered him a $10 million signing bonus. And they said, faced with the opportunity to get Kellen in camp on time, we're making our best offer. And he said, nah.
He held out.
Yeah. Yeah, he just didn't want to do it.
Because he's a twat.
He just didn't feel like it. He's like, nah, I don't.
Make me the highest paid tight end in the league? No. You're going to make me higher.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, you're going to, no.
Wow.
I won't take the same money as the guy who's drafted ahead of me, which is not even slow. They over fucking slotted him even, and he's still.
And the guy drafted ahead of him isn't even the same position, right?
No,
right.
He's a defender.
Exactly, different guy, different thing, different worth.
I don't know if you want quarterback money or what, but you're a tight end. You're not getting quarterback money.
You're getting more than Tony G.
That's what I mean.
And in 2004, he's the best in the league.
Exactly, and you're Wow, that's balls.
Unbelievable.
That's your dad told you how great you are. It's a little one too many fucking times.
He should have had to pay for that broken jaw. Maybe he'd have a little more humility.
Maybe that's what it is. So 2004 Browns, Terry Robisky is the coach, and then he's replaced by Butch Davis after that. Okay. So this is a 4-12 team.
Yeah.
Not good. No. Not a good era for the Browns. This is here are their quarterbacks. Jeff Garcia came in. He started 11 games. Poor guy, trying to fucking play out the rest of his career on this pile of shit team. Luke McCown wasn't good, and Kelly Holcomb.
Oh, my Christ.
Those are the three there. They started 10 games, 4 games, and 2 games.
That's
there,
a whole lot of milk toast.
Yeah, Holcomb actually did the best out of everybody in 2 games started. Yeah, he was 68% completion percentage with 7 touchdowns and only 5 picks. Everybody else was shit. Not bad. Now, Kellen this year breaks his leg. So, yeah, he's expected to get right into his rookie season. After 2 games, he suffers a broken right fibula, which costs him $5.3 million in incentive bonuses because he is supposed to, if he played a certain amount of games that year, he'd get paid $5.3 million, and he didn't. So
what hurts more, breaking a leg or losing that kind of money?
Jesus Christ. I know, I'd be like, just tape it up.
Yeah.
Going out there. Kept him on the sidelines for the remainder of the year. And not great. He ended up with only 5 catches for 50 yards.
Holy shit.
Not terrific there. But he has two operations on the leg, too. They were worried that he'd never be the same again. Yeah. And he makes a complete recovery.
Luck.
So, yeah, I would say 2005 Browns are 6-10 under Romeo Crennel.
Yeah.
Not great
Poor
either.
Romeo.
That guy just, oh, God. Jesus Christ.
Poor fucking guy.
That guy must.
He has had a terrible they give him nothing. You know what I mean? I feel bad for him.
He always has the look on his face like, just, how did I get here and why am I here? How did I get here?
He always has a look on his face like he just wants to apologize to anybody wearing the same hat or jersey as him.
Kind of like he looks like, okay, this is what he looks like every time. He looks like a play just happened.
Yeah.
And they ran a play, but not the one he called. And he's like, looking like, is that me or them? Did you fuck that up? That wasn't the play I called, right? Hey, OC, that wasn't the play, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's the look on his face. What the fuck did I just watch? I called a sweep right. That was a pass over the middle. What the fuck just happened?
Is that what I said?
He didn't audible that, did he? What? So they're 6-10. He gets on May 1st, 2005, though. He gets in a motorcycle accident. He is thrown from his Suzuki GSX-R 750.
Yeah, it's a 750cc GSX-R. That's a ridiculous motorcycle.
I get it. He's a huge guy.
Yeah, but there's no reason to ride that.
No, especially not if you have an NFL career.
Right.
Wait till afterwards. He's riding through his Cleveland suburb there when he's thrown off the bike and suffers a torn ACL from this. So in his right knee, and was placed on the physically unable to perform non-football injury list for the rest of the season.
What
here.
A dipshit.
Yeah, complete stupid. Doesn't play at all this year, and has to fight off a staph infection for 6 weeks from the wound of the surgery and all this shit too. So that'll come up later again. He's got like a persistent staph thing that comes up with him. Yeah, most of the guys have that. That's a dirty little secret nobody knows about. All these athletes get tons of staph infections. A lot of them have MRSA because they're contact with all this shit all the time.
He is a dummy.
That's just, it happens. So, so that's 2005. So in 2 years now, he's gotten paid a lot of money. He has a grand total of 5 receptions for 50 yards.
And a motorcycle crash.
And a motorcycle crash and 2 broken legs, basically. So June 15th, 2006 comes around. He gets married.
Yeah.
When everything's what's our rule, Jimmy?
Yeah,
everything's going great. Things are going your way. Top of the world. What do? Get married.
Or have a kid.
That's right. Whenever things are going bad,
knock it out.
I'm going to try to flip it.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip it. I'm going to get married. Everything's going to turn around.
I'm going to bring somebody else into this misery with me.
I think I'll bring Janelle into this with me. Yeah, that'll work.
Janelle.
Poor Janelle Winslow. So you don't even know poor Janelle.
Really?
Dude, this poor woman. You have no fucking idea. So 2006 with the Browns, 4-12 they are that year. Romeo Crennel again. Just, what? What are they doing? Same look.
He's always squinting.
What? Huh?
Those numbers on the scoreboard cannot be right.
Hey, he looks up.
42-0?
It's the third quarter already? How are we? The game just started, man. Right?
Poor Romeo.
Just looks so confused. Like, how'd I get here? Somebody drive me. Is my car outside? Did I drive here? How do I get home? He just seemed very confused.
Poor fucking guy.
So 2006, Junior here shows up in training camp and says, ready to go, ready to play. Yep, he said, even if I'm at 90%, he said that, quote, I hate to be brash, but I still think my 90% is probably better than every tight end out there. Okay. So he's saying, I've never played. Yep. I've played 5 fucking catches in this league.
Right.
Guys have been killing it since then, but not to be brash, but I'll be better than them, even though all I've done is destroy my legs for the last 2 years.
Right.
Perfect. October 17th, 2006, his brother dies. So that's a problem.
Stop that.
Yeah, his half-brother. I think that's the one that was born.
The 3 month younger. Yeah.
Yes, because he's 23 years of age.
Boy.
Yep. This is Justin Winslow.
How'd he die?
No cause of death reported. He was 23 years of age and found unconscious by his mother. So we're probably...
Yeah.
Some pills or something like. I'm not going to speculate. Yeah. I don't know, but that's just a young person dies more than likely.
It's very rare that that's natural causes.
That's what I mean. It's one of those things.
It's very rare that it was just his time.
That's it. Yeah, it's just his time to go, man. You know how it goes.
I had a friend who was
all worn out,
19 years old, just fell over, and that was it. Never did drugs. Just so it happened.
Like a heart murmur or something.
He was born 3 months premature, and his heart just never developed.
Okay, well, that's a reason for that. But like, if you're not like a regular healthy person that's always been healthy, and then no major organ issues, and it's just natural causes, he just was tired.
From NFL athletic stock.
Yeah.
You rarely...
He just quit, man. His body just quit on him. It was sad. So this year he plays and starts all 16 games. And he has 89 receptions this year, which is a lot for a tight end.
Yeah, it is.
That's a shitload. 875 yards. So using him for certain things.
Lets you know what the Browns were up against here.
Yeah. Jesus.
Poor bastards.
3 touchdowns for him in this awful losing effort for the Browns. Now, let's talk a little bit about his personality. Okay. What do you say? Because we know he's kind of a dick so far, and definitely his father's silver-haired as they come, and everybody has propped him up because he's this goal. Think about it. Normally these athletic kids that are, our athletes that we talk about, they're have their balls tickled from the time they're a young age, just have how wonderful they are. Add your dad's a Hall of Famer. In the town that he played in, where everyone would want to get close to the dad, too. So this kid is the most ass-kissed kid that's ever existed. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about him. One point, and this is just a tip of an iceberg here, one point he's with the Browns, and Kellen Sr. was in town. Okay, so the Browns are planning on filming a video spot at their team facility with him and his dad.
Sure.
Like an NFL, hey, generational, whatever the fuck, right? So, first round pick, all that sort of thing. So dad's ready to go. We're ready for the shoot.
Yep.
Can't find Junior.
No.
Where's fucking Junior? So they looked all over the facility for him.
He's hiring a baboon to hold him up and sing the fucking Lion King song.
Oddly enough, worse. Oddly enough, more grandiose than that.
Oh, boy.
Couldn't find him.
No.
Finally, a team official noticed that across the street in a guest parking lot, his Hummer was parked over there. He's like, his car's over there. I don't know. Maybe I'll go see if he's, who knows, on the phone, or who knows what the fuck he's doing over there. So an equipment manager was sent to check on him at the off chance that he was in it, and he certainly was in it, in the back seat, jerking it furiously.
What?
Furiously stroking his cock in the back seat. That's what he was doing.
This is hot. He can't.
Just in the back seat. And they're like, photo shoot with my dad.
They want to do an expose on me and Pop.
I guess.
What the fuck?
He's jerking it. That's how he gets warmed up, apparently, for a photo shoot, is to jerk it in the back seat of his car.
Listen, man.
At work.
Yeah.
Don't jerk it at work. You can't jerk off at work.
Wait a little bit?
Don't be whacking it on the job, man. Come on.
How hot is that to him?
How horny are you where you're like, I know I'm at work right now and I'm about to do a photo shoot with my dad, but I need to whack it. Like, have you ever been that
Maybe that's
crazed?
Just like, I don't want to accidentally get a boner in this fucking photo. That would look real awkward sitting next to my dad. I got a surefire way to make it not happen.
Go in the guest parking lot. So
tuck in the Hummer.
That's the tip of the iceberg. Want to hear some real pervy shit?
Is he so dumb that he thinks that's what's getting a Hummer?
I think so.
Just jerking your Hummer?
Yeah, You want to hear some pervy gross shit that he's into?
I kind of do.
Well, this is over a Sports Illustrated article. They did a whole thing here back in the day and talked to tons of coaches and team officials and teammates, and nobody wants to be named, obviously, but these are all from official sources and everything. This is amazing. They all said that he's a talented, hardworking guy who always wanted to be better than his dad. Right. Not in like a fuck my dad kind of a way, but like, yeah, that's the only thing he could find that would motivate him, is to be better than his dad, because otherwise he's got everything.
I mean, and how proud are you going to be of your son if he does the same thing as you and not as good? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what he's earning his dad's respect.
They say he's a little bit weird, though, and his attitude towards social norms tend to be a little strange here. Okay, well, let's see here. He, in his last year, 2013, when he was with the Jets, basically he was known, and this is right out of the article, quote, Winslow became known to coworkers as a compulsive masturbator and a pornography enthusiast, according to 2 teammates and 3 former team officials.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. They said that he could count on having an empty seat next to him on any team flight due to his ritual of watching hardcore pornography on his portable DVD player.
Unbelievable.
Not even giving a fuck. He's like, this is a gross one. Hey, come here. This is a real gross one.
In what year? 2013?
This is a little bit. This is before that.
Right.
But that 2013 was just, he's a chronic masturbator. The portable DVD player's like mid-2000s.
That's his thing.
Before it's on the phones.
That's gross.
It's, on the plane.
That means you got to bring... Wow, that's even
like,
grosser,
Which ones am I going to want to watch on the plane? Because he's got his plane stuff, and then he's got his hotel stuff, and he's got he's got all sorts of porn.
Which one will impress Coach Cornell?
Yeah. Which one's going to impress the offensive coordinator? I need to get in more plays.
I need one with girls getting spit on.
Anybody knows that the quarterback likes to whack it too? He's like, I want him to throw it to me more. Is that possible if I get him porn?
McCown.
That's how you get people to
do
things
redheads?
for you. That's how you get people to do things for you, right? You fucking
bring them their favorite.
You show them porn, I think, right? On the team plane, right?
Their favorite.
Jesus Christ, he's a weird guy.
So you know he's into like the fuck, and
we all know a guy like this though too. We all know a guy that's always like
that finds like the craziest thing.
That's the craziest thing. Also, we all know like the chronic masturbator.
Right.
Like I remember in high school I had this one friend who'd just be like, "Damn, I'm gonna go jerk off now." We'd all be hanging out. He'd just go jerk off in the bathroom. And be like, "All right, that's better." And we're like, "What are you doing?" He'd just be like, "Damn, I'm gonna go jerk off." He'd just leave. Just leave the room. He'd come back, grab the lotion, and leave. You're like, "What are you doing?"
When a guy does that, though, you got to start retracing what we all just did for the past 10 minutes because it clearly got him hot as fuck.
That's what it is.
I've never been in a moment where I'm like, I got to go tug it.
We'd be sitting there, it's like 1993 or 1995, whatever. We'd be sitting there playing like Street Fighter 2 on Nintendo or Super Nintendo, fucking around. And he'd just be like, he'd lose a game, be like, I'm going to go whack it. Like he's just bored. It was something to do for him.
I'm bad at this game, but I'll tell you what I never lose at.
No, he was amazing
at that.
He could also fart at will, which was an impressive...
That's gross.
Think of this guy. He was the grossest person ever. He could fart at will and would jerk off constantly.
You realize that guy's in prison, right?
I know he's not in prison, actually, but he's an interesting fella. He's turned out to be an interesting guy. Put it that way.
Has he have a record?
Sort of,
probably.
Yeah, a little bit, but he had a record like when we were kids, like we were, hooligans. But that's beside the point. He's an interesting guy. Had to unfriend him on Facebook. Put it that way. Got a little weird.
He doesn't have a great career and a family, and he's crushing it, right?
No, he's got a family, but he's definitely implanted seeds in people.
It's not a happy family,
no doubt about that. So on one occasion. I
love porn, and I yank all the time, James. I'll admit it to you, but it's not there.
But that's the thing. It's not at work. Yeah. You don't come here and do it.
Pause. I got to go tug.
Hold on a second, dude. Hey, hold on. In between these shows, I'm going to go whack it. That's never said.
I'm far enough in that I know a lot of girls' names, and I have favorites.
Well, I mean...
But I'm not here. You know what I mean?
Well, you don't have like a road stash of like, I got to bring all this with me. He's got a layout. I need this many pairs of underwear and this many socks, and I need all the different porn. He's got a big booklet. He breaks out one of those big like DVD books, like big photo album.
Like the CD, the one you used to have.
With like, has 500, and he's looking through it going, no.
No.
Ooh, this will be good on the plane.
Titles don't make him laugh, James. That's the crazy part.
He's like, yeah.
That's where he's at.
He just goes, yeah.
Fucking, I know what that's about.
Yeah, that's right. That's some plane whacking right there. So an equipment manager at one point was tasked with delivering, their gear to lockers, pads and shit like that. This was after hours. And when he did that after the game, he walked in on Kellen masturbating in his locker. 2 seats away from the entrance. So he wasn't like in the back. He wasn't in the bathroom. Yeah, he wasn't in a stall. He was just right at the front of the locker room where anyone who walked in would have seen him fucking furiously
He's literally almost gone. Like,
yeah.
It's not.
He's right by the front. Yeah. He's right by. He could have went out to the car.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I would have rather have whacked it in the car personally than in the locker room. Going, I hope the equipment guy doesn't come with my fucking
guys like
thigh
that.
Pads.
That's part of the excitement, though.
I think it is.
He likes it.
Well, we'll talk about it. That's definitely what it is as this goes on.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
During road games, this just keeps going on and on. During road games, the team stayed at a hotel and at a curfew, and assistant coaches who perform bed checks always said that he was every time they do bed checks, he's watching pornography.
Yeah.
Just no other time. He's always watching porn. Then when porn became available on phones, he would watch it on his smartphone during team meetings.
Of course.
He said every time he was just always watching porn. During any time he had a phone on him, he's watching porn. They're talking about, and then the ex is going to hook over here, and they're like, Kellen, he's like, hold on, he's just about to come on her face. Wait 1 second. He's so close, dude. I can tell. He just told her to open her mouth, so it's coming right now.
Good news, Coach. He finished. Bad news, there's another guy behind him, so you're going to have to wait.
I'm sorry. I'm going to take a break, Coach. You know what? I don't want to be this disruption to the rest of the team.
You guys going to watch this or what?
Yeah. Two former teammates said that such sites would be, blocked by the building Wi-Fi, so they'd have to block them from him. So he couldn't get on them because otherwise that's all he would do. So teammates wouldn't share hotel rooms with him at all because they said all he ever did was watch porn and openly masturbate, and they just didn't want to hang out in the room while he's openly jerking it.
I can't.
You don't want to sit on the other bed while somebody's like, hey, was just jerking it, porn on full volume. Like, what are you doing?
No, baby, there are no girls here. I swear, it is Kellen's phone.
He's disgusting. Listen, he's whacking it, right? Kellen, and tell my wife you're whacking it, please. I'm whacking it. All right, see? He's whacking it.
Oh, boy,
no bathroom. With no regard for who was in the room, even if they had guests. It just didn't matter. He'd take it out and whack it. Romeo Crennel, the head coach, and also Terry Robisky, who was also a head coach, made efforts to mentor Kellen and impress upon him the expectations of appropriate behavior, as they put it. And especially once Crennel became aware of the road trip roommate, like nobody will room with him, he said, okay.
The man's 25 years
Yeah,
old.
that's when he said they had to be like, listen, you know, there's shit you do and there's shit you don't do. And like, you know, jerking it in front of your teammates, they're uncomfortable with that.
Also, I can't believe I have to say this.
Yeah. This is, by the way, Charles Haley's exact story.
Really?
Charles Haley apparently jerked it constantly. He would jerk off in team meetings. There'd be a team meeting. He'd be stroking his cock in the back of the room. They'd be like, Charles, what the fuck? He'd be nude and stroking it.
At some point, that's a masculinity thing too, right?
Well,
it's
for
like
Charles, it was.
I'm just better than
Charles
you.
apparently had a giant dick
Right.
too, and he just was like lotioning it up all the time. He said he was just like polishing it like a fucking.
If I had one of those, I might.
Yeah,
I might do that.
If you had like a novelty circus penis, you just,
Like
just
13
polish it all the
inches and,
time.
like 4 inches around.
Just tell people this isn't sexual.
Yeah,
this isn't. I'm just, you know. It's just an impressive piece of.
This isn't even hard. That's what's so impressive
what I mean.
about
It's just, I just like to show it to people, but it's not sexual at all.
This is so unsexual that all of this meat is just to look at.
Just to check out. So later on, when he ended up going to Tampa, he acquired, Jesus Christ, he just had like the silicone sex dolls.
Yep.
He just had a torso.
Oh, that's gross.
He just had a fucking torso with with both holes in it.
No arms, no legs, no head. That's
just
all I need. Yeah.
A torso with holes.
Oh, boy.
And he would bring it with him on road trips. And it was like he was not secretive about it. This is.
Wears it like a backpack.
Yep, I would be fucking this thing. He just put straps on it.
It's just dripping.
Like kids have those cartoon characters. They have like Pikachu back there. He's got a half a woman's porn torso behind her. A dismembered porn torso.
Right.
With straps on it.
God damn it.
Oh, man. So that's all around the guys, alone. There's a lot of people we know that are gross. How is he with women? That's the important thing here. Well, let's see here. When it came to actual women, when he was in the NFL, no one ever said he was over aggressive. There's never had any accusations or anything like that. They said he would brag all the time about cheating on his wife,
of course,
and having one night stands and all sorts of shit like that. But he would he would spend weeks at a time during the off season on people's couches, teammates' couches, where he would just be like partying and dating around, and he was just like such a pussy hound that it was like it was disturbing. He didn't have time to like get furniture or rent an apartment. I'll just stay on your couch and fuck people. Cool. Yeah. Like, wow, that's something. Team officials said that his behavior toward women could never be categorized as like harassing or dangerous. They liked him and he liked them. It was one of those things. One of the guys said, quote, he was infantile, just very transparent. With Kellen, everybody knew what he was about. Video games and fucking.
Man's 25.
Video games and fucking. Full disclosure, there are not a lot of guys, if given the opportunity to only give a shit about video games and fucking, that wouldn't give a shit only about video games and fucking.
True.
You have no kids, and you have millions and millions of dollars. What do you care about, Jimmy?
NBA Jam and blowies.
That's it. That's it. That's all you, especially you're 25, and you have a circus novelty penis.
Right.
You're going to fucking, no. Ridiculous.
Look at girl, I got big head mode.
Check at this shit. Look at that. In more ways than one, baby. I'm on fire.
Unbelievable.
So 2007 Cleveland Browns are 10-6, but they don't make the playoffs, which is fucking hilarious.
That's
Even when
brutal.
they go 10-6, they don't make the playoffs.
It's because Cincy and Pittsburgh were good.
Yeah, that was a tough era for
and
that.
the Ravens.
Yeah,
they were all good there.
That was a tough era. But he plays in all 16 games. He has 82 receptions, 1,106 yards. Very good. 5 touchdowns. Great year. He makes the Pro Bowl this year. Yeah. He is a Pro Bowler. Grace.
Oh, no.
Yes, that's Grace, my friend.
Oh, boy.
It's downhill from here in more ways than one. So 2008 Cleveland Browns, they go 4-12 again, right back to where they were. That's better.
Yeah, I think Romeo Crennel got a better job somewhere else.
He was still there.
Was he still there?
Yeah, 10-6. He was like, hey, we're going to take the next step this year. Then back to 4-12, and I think he was shit canned the next year.
Okay.
So you know how the Browns do.
Yeah.
They go through coaches a lot. He is suspended from the team this year for a little bit for some comments that he made. Apparently, he got another staph infection, okay, and it got crazy from there. The team told him basically that he wasn't allowed to tell anyone he had a staph infection, and they wouldn't reveal it. So they said it's a non-football injury, so that it's his private injury. Yeah. So they can't reveal his private medical shit. Okay. And he said, "Fuck you! You made me look like a fucking pussy," rather than saying that I keep getting staph infections in your fucking facility.
Okay,
because that was his thing, and basically he was mad. And he spent 3 days in the hospital with an undisclosed illness, and it turned out to be a staph infection. And so he began lashing out at the Browns for not having a clean facility and things like that. He said that the team has had at least 6 cases of staph in the past 3 years, and the team asked him to conceal his illness. Yeah. So he was pissed off about that. He said the general manager didn't check on him while he was in the hospital, and he felt like the Browns were treating him like a piece of meat, and he considered requesting a trade.
No, you're treating you like a piece of meat.
Well, yeah, you're... Don't use piece. I was going to say.
You can't do that.
Piece of meat is anytime you say meat, someone's going to go, well, he's beating his meat.
Right.
Because anytime meat comes up with this guy. And, yeah,
ridiculous.
It's silly. But he's got a point, though, too. There should not be fucking people getting tons of staph infections in your facility if you're cleaning properly.
You should be spraying it down with Lysol
constantly.
Every day.
That's ridiculous, and that's irresponsible. So, basically, the general manager said his statements brought unjustified negative attention to our organization and violated the team-first concept of our football squad. Okay. Fuck you. Yeah. How about that?
Right.
You don't own me.
First, motherfucker.
Yeah. You're giving people staph infections. Right. Team first, my teammates, not the fucking...
Not the organization.
Not the yellow, fucking orange helmet.
Right.
Who cares about that?
Doesn't even have words on it.
Teammates, asshole. So, yeah, it doesn't even have a goddamn word on it. So he's suspended, and it'll cost him $235,294 for a game check.
Wow.
It's a pretty good hefty chunk of change for one game.
Yeah.
For a game against Jacksonville. Jesus.
They're going to lose anyway.
He won't be. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He can appeal the suspension. His agent, Drew Rosenhaus, who's a huge asshole, he's his agent on this whole thing. So what did he say here? He said that regardless of how this was released, the information would still remain the same. I contracted staph again. I spoke out on this because I felt it was the right thing to do, and this is why I'm so passionate about it. This has nothing to do with football, and this has to do with my current and has nothing to do with my current contract situation. This is a health concern. You can't. It is. That's ridiculous.
You can't argue.
Staph is dangerous. It's very fucking dangerous. You got to be on top of that. So his response is, he's got to kind of apologize, sort of. He says, I care deeply for my organization, my teammates, and the Browns fans, and Miami, and Drew Carey, and Mimi, and fucking Jason Sudeikis on fucking 30 Rock, and fucking...
And Charlie Sheen and the other Indians.
And Charlie Sheen, all the other Indians.
Wesley Snipes.
Tom Berenger. I'm very sorry, Tom Berenger. I apologize most of all.
Wesley didn't even come back for the second movie, but I still apologize to him.
I do. I apologize to him. I apologize.
And Omar Epps for putting him through that second movie.
Apologize to Lou. Who I apologize to the guy on the other line about the white walls who didn't get to. I apologize. Sorry, those are the only things we know about Cleveland.
And American Express for having the card upside down.
Yeah, that's it. The only things we know about Cleveland, other than it smells like burning jizz.
Yeah.
So,
and above all, I apologize to Ariel Castro. I've really given him a bad name.
Yeah, I don't know who's a worse Clevelander, Ariel Castro or Kellen Winslow. It's fucking close. When you hear this. It's close, dude. I'm not even going to lie. So, yeah, he said that fact remains, a health issue, yada, yada, yada. Just because I catch a football doesn't mean I shouldn't. Doesn't mean I should tell what's wrong with me or what happened. So, yeah, he says that he agreed with the team's decision to suspend him. He shouldn't have talked. He said, bullshit.
Wow.
Anyway, he plays in 10 games this year, starts 8. He has 43 catches for 428 yards and 3 touchdowns. February 27th, 2009, the Browns trade him.
Yeah.
So he's traded to the Buccaneers for a second-round pick and then a sixth-round pick as well.
Okay.
So traded for basically nothing. They give him the biggest contract for a tight end in NFL history. Immediately. He's had one good year.
Right.
1 out of 5. Biggest contract ever. 6-year, $36 million deal. For a tight end is big. 2009 Bucks. This is a bad team. This is the Josh Freeman, Josh Johnson, Byron Leftwich QB'd Bucks. 3-13 that year.
My Christ.
Not good. Raheem Morris was the coach. I remember these days. Not a good time for the Bucks. Now, for Kellen, though, he plays in all 16 games. He has 77 receptions for 884 yards, 5 touchdowns, so decent. Yeah. Also in 2010, this might be the fucking weirdest thing ever. He is, I don't know, he appears in an infomercial for the Total Gym fitness system with Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley.
Holy shit, why?
It's really weird because he's doing the Total Gym and then he starts stroking it right on the camera. He's just like looking at Christy Brinkley, staring and stroking it, and Chuck Norris had to kick the lotion bottle out of his hand and tell him to stop. But no, he's doing a Total Gym infomercial saying that the Total Gym, he's been doing it since age 13. His father introduced him to the Total Gym. It's been... Look at me now.
Good Lord.
The NFL players. That's just sad.
I have the strongest forearms ever.
What a weird trio.
Yeah.
First of all, Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley, why are you together?
Right.
That they don't go together at all. Do they?
I mean, apart from the era that they are and their
sort
age.
Of. Yeah, they're both white, I guess. But other than that, I don't know what the fuck they have in common.
Total Gym is crushing it. If they can afford to get all three of them as their spokespeople, that's impressive.
And Gina O'Kelly, who I don't know who that is either. So I feel like that was the person who would give the pitch.
Right.
That's like the actress getting her SAG card.
Right.
And they have the celebrities back there. Chuck just going, I'm very strong.
Right.
Look at me. And then Christy Brinkley going, see how hot I am? Oh, my God. Total Gym.
Holding up picture. See how hot I used to be?
Nothing to do with genetics. Jesus Christ. She doing the Elizabeth Hurley thing or is she falling apart? I don't know.
It's not good.
Elizabeth Hurley, literally once a week on the internet, there's a new picture that she puts out on like Instagram of her smoking hot in a bikini. It's like, Elizabeth Hurley is 56 and look at her. And it's like, stop. That's just not even fair. It's ridiculous.
She is unbelievable.
She's using the Total Gym.
She is amazing.
So 2010 in Tampa, he's going to sit out the preseason most likely. And they're okay with it. The team wants that. They just want him to rest his body.
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
And stay off Jixers too.
He's just going to whack it for 6 for the whole preseason. We said, well, we're out there playing. You stroke it. Keep that in game shape. The coach said, quote, I had no interest in playing Kellen Winslow last week when they were asking, is it okay that he didn't show up? And they asked, so he might not play this preseason. And Raheem Morris said he may not, but we wanted to get him out there to test the waters a little bit. Last year in the preseason, he played a little bit for us. I'm sure this year in the preseason, we'll want to play him a little bit and we'll want him to get out there when we want him to. So he said nothing. That was a double talking bullshit.
At some point he'll play.
At some point he might play, but maybe not. Okay. I'm not into evaluating Kellen. Kellen put a nice 16 games on display for us last year, and right now we've just got to let him get ready to go out there and win us some games.
Is that possibly I don't want him around the team right now?
He's there.
Jerking for 16 weeks is plenty.
He's going to be jerking more because he's not playing in the preseason, but he's there hanging out. They just want to rest his body. They're like, we know what he does. We don't need to evaluate him. So there's that. So this year, Tampa goes 10-6 and does not make the playoffs.
Ouch.
This guy's a bad luck charm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rare you go 10-6 and don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, but they've got the Saints and the Panthers and who else is in that division?
Still,
Jaguars? Jaguars are
It was around the time when the Cardinals were going to the playoffs at 8-8.
Yeah.
I mean, the West was another shit show, but still. So anyway, Tampa this year, 16 games. He starts 11 of them. He has 66 catches for 730 yards and 5 touchdowns again. Every year he has either 3 or 5 touchdowns. 3-5, 3-5-5 is how it goes there. February 2011, he and his wife have a son.
Oh, boy.
A son,
No.
Jimmy.
Did they do it?
What do you think its name?
Is it Kellen the Third?
Jalen.
Oh.
He broke the cycle.
But he went with that.
Jalen Maximus Winslow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he watched 300 a couple of times.
Yeah.
He's like, Jalen Maximus. Fucking idiot. In between, he thought that was a porn.
Right.
He's like, 300 chicks get back. This is like 300-man gangbang. This is going to be good.
Oh,
there's a guy in the front with no shirt on. Yeah, he's going to fucking bang this chick. Him and 300 guys. He sees all the guys behind him. He's like, they're all going to bang that chick. I'm going to watch this. He puts it in. He's like, well, I don't see any banging, but...
When are they going to Sparta on her?
Kind of exciting. I don't know. Yeah, when's that happening? So 2011, Bucks are 4-12 again. Jesus, he is a good luck charm, isn't he?
Yeah.
15 games he starts, plays in all 16, 75 receptions, 763 yards, 2 touchdowns. May 22nd, 2012, he's traded from the Bucks to the Seahawks.
Really?
Yeah. And
How long was he there?
Well, not really at all, because they trade him for an undisclosed draft pick, and Seattle asked him to take a pay cut That's as part of it. And he says, no,
Yeah.
I'm not taking a pay cut. I like being the highest paid tight end in the history of the NFL.
But they have a great tight end there at that time, don't they?
I don't remember. That was a Super Bowl year, so yeah, I think they had a good tight end. But they had Stevens. We did an episode on him, Jeremy Stevens.
There you go.
During this period. But they also want him, and they ask him to take a pay cut. He says no, so September 1st, 2012, they cut him.
Oh, really?
He wouldn't take a pay cut, so they cut him right before the season. They're not going to pay him.
Wow.
They don't want to fucking pay him.
Oh, I guess you can't trade somebody if you don't sign them to agree on a contract, right?
Well, he was on the team. They could have traded him, but who knows? It's easier for a team to just go, no, we don't want to trade. We'll just sit and wait for you to release him and get him on waivers. It's easier and cheaper, thank you.
There you go. So it plays into the other teams.
Then they have to sign him on his original contract. It's a whole thing if he doesn't clear waivers, which I believe he does because he's not signed until September 19th of that year. So
with the Jets, right?
With the New England Patriots.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's Belichick loves a reclamation project. He went there with New England. He plays one game. One game where he has one reception for 12 yards.
Oh, wow.
That's it. So not a lot going on for him. On September 27th, which is the day after his first game there, he asks for his release.
Really?
Don't know what he was thinking, but he did not like it there. And they cut him. They go, all right, fine, fuck off. What, are we going to beg you to be here?
Right.
Stroking it?
Yeah.
No. I don't know if Tom Brady wasn't okay with the mass strokings or what happened, but I don't know. So June 14th, 2013, so he goes through the 2012 season without a team. 2013, the Jets sign him to a one-year contract. There, in August of 2013, during training camp, they have a daughter, Juliana Ariel Winslow. So he just watches movies and then names his kids after shit.
Jesus.
He's a fucking idiot.
He's a douchebag.
Well, his middle names, yeah.
Yeah.
His name is Boswell. I guess he's getting revenge on them.
You got Jalen, and then through the middle name of what? Maximus?
Maximus.
And then Ariel. He loves Disney.
Juliana Ariel. His wife might love Disney, too. We don't know about
Juliana Huff? Is that what? I don't know.
Who the fuck
knows?
knows?
He naming these kids after?
Who knows? We don't know if her dead friend is named Juliana. Who the hell knows? He's got an aunt that he liked named Juliana. We have no idea.
I think he loves the Disney Channel and
Probably.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about why in a minute here.
Okay.
So 2013 with the Jets, they go 8-8 under Rex Ryan here. So he is just a non-playoff. He's never been to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Never. He's never made the playoffs.
He's a cancer
He's
for
an
teams.
albatross around their neck. October 11th, 2013, the NFL fines Kellen Winslow and suspends him 4 games for violating the policy on performance-enhancing substances. Not sure exactly what it was, but they reinstate him on November 11th, 2013, and the Jets don't give a shit either way. So who cares?
Yeah.
He's got something more exciting happening 8 days later once he's reinstated, though. You'd think he'd be busy.
Yeah.
Okay, busy. Instead, November 19th, 2013, he is pulled over.
Uh-oh.
I'll give you 3 guesses of why he's pulled over.
Speeding.
No.
Swerving. Drunk driving.
No.
Yanking.
Hey! I knew you'd get it.
He was yanking and driving?
No, worse than that. A woman told police that she saw him masturbating in his SUV outside of a Target.
What?
In East Hanover, New Jersey.
In the parking lot?
In the parking lot. He's 5:30 p.m. too. It wasn't even dark. It might have been dark by then in November, but not yet. 5:30 p.m. in a Target. That's a busy time for a Target. 5:30. He's just whacking it. Fucking. Apparently, a woman said she parked her car in the spot next to a black Escalade outside Target. As she exited her vehicle, she commented to the male, him, regarding how cold it was. As she stood near the open driver's side window of the Escalade, she observed his erect penis.
He had his window down.
Whacking.
Kind of cold out, isn't it? Don't feel it myself.
I don't know. I'm looking like I'm at full fucking mast here.
Looks warm in here.
Looks warm in here, baby. I got the heat on. She stated that she believed he was masturbating. She provided a written response. So what ends up happening there is, Jesus Christ, he takes off. She starts calling the cops. He takes off. So this is the police report.
Yeah.
I'll just read the police report. Fuck it. I have a whole police report here.
Gross.
This is the officer. I responded to there's an address, Target, on the report of a black male in a black Cadillac Escalade in the parking lot, pleasuring himself. While en route, headquarters advised the vehicle was backed into the parking spot along a brick wall, and the driver was described as being between 25 and 30 years of age, wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt. I arrived at the target and observed a black Cadillac Escalade bearing California registration with a male matching the given description in the driver's seat. I approached the vehicle and observed the driver, later identified as Kellen Winslow Jr., slouched down in his seat, moving around. Mr. Winslow then moved into an upright position in the seat as I came to the driver's side window. I asked Mr. Winslow what he was doing in the parking lot, and he advised he was looking for a Boston Market and was lost. Oh,
what a!
I'm either gonna eat like a shitty sticky rotisserie chicken or whack it. I can't decide.
I either want cafeteria quality rotisserie chicken and vegetables,
and overcooked macaroni and cheese,
maybe
or
a little bit of nice cornbread because that's all they've got there.
It's decent.
Or I'm gonna just tug here to the clientele walking in and out of Target.
Pretty much. So
is there any? Does he have porn with him or?
His memory. I think just looking at people.
Yeah.
I think, you know what? He's a man of the world, Jimmy. He sees beautiful. He's like a hippie. He sees beauty in the world.
I think
and he whacks it to it aggressively.
A lot of people have like this excitement of maybe getting caught, but his excitement is getting caught. That's what he wants.
No, he wants you to see him.
He wants it.
And
he needs it.
Oh, wait till you see what he needs. He's gross.
Oh,
this is the least gross thing he does this whole episode. So he says now, while speaking with Mr. Winslow, I observed many empty plastic containers of Funky Monkey in the passenger seat.
What?
This is synthetic marijuana.
Oh.
On the seat and the floor of the passenger side of the vehicle. The vehicle was very cluttered, and there was also a lot of plastic bags of Mr. Happy scattered throughout the front seats. I observed Mr. Winslow wearing dark-colored sweatpants and 2 open containers of Vaseline on his center console, but his genitals were not exposed. He's wearing He's got open Vaseline jars in his cup holder.
Yeah.
Instead of like a fucking, large Coke from McDonald's, he's got Vaseline in there. That's how much he's going to whack it.
Tug lube.
He knows he's going to whack it. He's got car lube.
How awesome is it that the synthetic marijuana that he has is called Mr. Happy?
Mr. Happy, yeah. This is crazy, though. People get they have like a car cup that they keep in the car. They have like a car, whatever the fuck. Nobody has car lube.
No.
Nobody has car Vaseline. Yeah, I mean, he's really... So imagine what his steering wheel's like, because that shit doesn't come off your hands.
God.
It's all coated in disgustingness.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, Jesus Christ, his genitals were not exposed. At this time, another police officer arrived on the scene as backup, and I asked Mr. Winslow to exit the vehicle. I patted Mr. Winslow down for weapons with negative results. Patrol asked Mr. Winslow about the bags of Mr. Happy and the bottles of Funky Monkey in plain sight, and he advised his employer, the National Football League, does not drug test for this substance, so he smokes it. Oh. This is the problem, too. Let these fucking guys smoke weed.
Right.
Fuck this guy, but this shit is worse for you than weed.
Right.
They're not the same thing.
Dangerous shit.
It's not the same.
It's man-made.
It's man-made.
Fucking,
it's not good. Let them smoke weed.
Yeah. Spice is not good stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of these players go, gee, do I want to take fucking 8 oxys today, or do I want to smoke some weed?
Right.
Which was better for them? Jesus Christ. So he says he smokes it at his residence. The detective sergeant here also came in, arrived at the scene. At the time, he spoke with another witness who said that she parked near the vehicle and observed him with the penis and all that sort of thing. With the penis.
Yeah.
With the penis and the Vaseline.
And the Mr. Happy.
The Mr. Happy with the penis. He's got a penis.
He's got the penis and the Vaseline in the cup holder.
And the jello is making it shake. So completed a statement here. They did a search of the thing. Consent was completed and blah, blah, blah. Following items were located. 8 empty plastic containers of premium Funky Monkey. 5 small plastic bags containing Mr. Happy Potpourri. And 1 empty bag of K2XXX. These items were all collected by patrol and later placed into evidence. A property evidence form was completed for all, blah, blah, blah. He was advised he was free to leave and proceeded to leave with no further incidents, and then that ends up happening.
K2 is Spice, too.
Yeah, it's all that shit.
Boy, he loves that shit.
He loves it.
Good
yeah, he's got a
Lord.
whole bunch of it. He's getting different kinds.
Spice and tugging. He's like he's 16 years
yeah,
old.
he's like me at a dispensary. A little bit of that, a little bit of that. Fuck, man. So Yeah, that's just so fun. He's just lost. That's just,
Looking for Boston Market.
Smoking Funky Monkey and wanting a chicken Carver sandwich. I can't. Gotta have it. So, wow.
That's rock bottom, right?
Well, no, it gets worse. He is not charged with lewdness.
No?
Because that's like a he said, she said, and he said we'll talk about what he says, but, they said maybe she was mistaken. Basically, they don't charge him, but they do charge him for the synthetic marijuana. He pleads not guilty to charges of possession of synthetic marijuana. So the explanation comes from his publicist, and this is fucking amazing. Quote, Kellen pulled over to a parking lot to smoke what he thought at the time was a legal substance. He changed his clothes in his vehicle as to not smell like smoke when he returned home. There was absolutely nothing inappropriate that took place there, and if the police would have investigated further and charged Kellen, which they did not. This will be the only time we will comment on this unfounded and ridiculous claim of whacking it in his SUV. Because they act like he's not going to whack it.
Right.
So what do the Jets say? Are they silver?
Yeah.
They say, quote, we are unaware of the situation. This is a pending legal matter and we have no comment.
Not for us. Yep.
Silver. Don't give a fuck. Season's almost over. Let's get through it. Got other shit going on.
We perpetually eat ass. No, we want nothing to do with
it's all
it.
fine. So this is fucking, ridiculous.
Yeah.
So he's got all sorts of problems. He's always out buying spice and whacking it and everything else. So he's got certain of the synthetic weeds he likes, and there's a certain smell that he likes. It attracts him to it. There's one day he's driving and he catches the smell.
Yep.
And he turns, and he parks his car, and he's like, this is my spot. But it's not. It's not synthetic weed. What he smells is shawarma. And it's the shawarma man. And he says, how is it you've come to arrive here? Why are you here?
Right.
You come in, I see you say you want smoke. I make lamb for you. I know smoke. Why? So let me ask a question, because I curious. I watch on the TV with the football and the thing. Now, on sideline, between plays there, you jerk it there too? Or you wait? Because uniform pant, you get down and jerk so people can see you. Like, hey, you come watch me. I do lots of things, I catch ball and then I jerk off on sideline, on top of ball, so quarterback slippery for other team. Is that what you do? Oh, you disgusting. I make for you. Put that away. Get out of here. You go. Sign say closed. I get my knife. You go. And poof. The poof of lamb and
gross
shawarma. He's gone.
Yeah.
Kellen, dick in his hand, very frightened of the shawarma man's going to cut it right off. Right off.
They'll circumcise you.
Yeah, so for the Jets that year, he played in 12 games, started 3, had 31 receptions for 388 yards and 2 touchdowns. So pretty useless generally. Now, May 2014 is court for fake weed. Mm-hmm. So there's a motion by so stupid.
That's terrible. That's so embarrassing.
So stupid. The motion by his attorney argued that the charge should be dismissed because the substance in question was not illegal under state or federal law when he was arrested in November.
Okay, so they passed laws since then.
Yeah, because they didn't know what it was at first, whatever. So they did not list Fubanica. I don't know anything about fake weed.
No.
I've never smoked or looked at fake weed because I'm like, real weed is available.
Is that weed? No, I don't want it.
Well, why would you want it?
Because it wasn't illegal.
It doesn't make sense, though.
It was kids. Kids thought it was.
I guess they could buy it.
Yeah, because they could get it. You go to. It was a
get
Circle
weed
K,
easier,
man.
though.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, like, there was the places when you were 17 or whatever that you could buy beer or whatever, but like, when you're 14, it's way easier to get weed than anything that's sold in the store.
Right.
And they're
Your
not going
friends
to
got
ID
it right there. Why do I got to go to the store?
Way easier.
Right.
So, they said it wasn't an illegal substance. He bought the substance legally, and his attorney added, quote, sniffing glue has the same effect as smoking marijuana. Okay, is that that's a positive?
What is that?
What are you sir? What point are you trying to prove here? So the judge said that basically that a state law barring any substance that mimics the effect of marijuana was in effect at the time of his arrest. So it's okay. He also added that glue, unlike this substance was not manufactured to mimic the effects of marijuana. This doesn't stick anything together. If it also stuck things together, we'd be having a different conversation.
Why does this guy keep bringing up sniffing glue?
Because the lawyer brought it up.
Right, but why does the lawyer?
That was the judge. The judge said, yeah, that's true, but glue isn't manufactured to be like weed. That's just a happy accident.
Glue's a thing that we use for things, and you happen to have sniffed it, obviously.
Fake weed has one use. And it's not even that good. So the verdict coming here of the synthetic marijuana, the judge agrees to grant him a conditional discharge after refusing to dismiss the charge. Under the conditions, the charge will be dismissed in a year without a guilty finding if he avoids arrest and meets with a probation officer once or twice. So there you go. Now, his attorney, the glue sniffing commenter guy, he said, quote, "It's almost as good as a dismissal." So that's great. And Kellen Jr. says, "Yeah, I'm happy, man." He says that his outcome allows him to negotiate with other NFL teams and put this behind him.
I'd rather be here discussing this than what I was actually doing.
Clearly, because that was gross. Let's really concentrate on the fake weed. Way less gross. So he's an unrestricted free agent there. The Jets said they do not want him. He said he lived in Austin, Texas now, saying he likes to train. Quote, "I need to train where it's hot." Okay. And he said that the police officer said that we treated him like any other person here. The lesson learned here is by him. So that's fine. 2016, he tries to have a comeback here after he sits out for 2 years. 2016, this is. He had a workout with the Green Bay Packers in August, but was not offered a contract. And so he kind of sits out the 2016 season. Later on, he'll participate in the Spring League. Football, kind of a whatever, in 2017 and 18, trying to catch on with a team and never does. Because he's done. It's over. Once it's over, it's over. 2016, though, he is inducted into the Miami University Hall of Fame.
Really?
Yes, he is. Hall of Famer. So let's see if he does some Hall of Fame worthy shit. Criminality-wise, he's a crime and sports Hall of Famer, we'll tell you that. June 7th, 2018. This is when it all starts. He is arrested, just after 2:30 p.m. on June 7th. In Encinitas, which is north of San Diego, where he lives.
Beautiful.
It's where he's from. It's where he lives.
It's fucking gorgeous.
A resident spotted him, who she described as a hulking, muscled 6'4" man, emerging from her 86-year-old neighbor's mobile home. An 86-year-old woman's trailer.
He's in an old lady's trailer in Encinitas.
Which is the last place you'd expect to find him, I would say. If I said, Jimmy, I'll give you 10 guesses on where he is right now, you wouldn't say an elderly woman's mobile home in Encinitas? I doubt that would ever come out of your mouth, right? He had no shirt on when he came out, which is strange, and no reason to be there. The lady confronted him. And he wouldn't say anything at first. Then she said she was going to call the police. And he said that, quote, "I'm just looking for my dog," in an old lady's trailer with no shirt on, which is where your dog usually is. And they said, "What dog?" And he said, "A red dog, Clifford." That's the first thing he could think of. Literally not just Clifford. A red dog named Clifford, he said.
He's huge. Doesn't fit in a trailer.
Bigger than my car.
Right.
Like, you'd notice him if you saw him. Like, his head would be popping out from behind your trailer.
That's a panic answer.
A red dog?
My
Clifford?
dog is not Clifford. What is it?
What the fuck are you talking about? That is maybe the worst excuse. I'm looking for it's a little fish, Nemo. I'm looking for him. I lost him. Like, what are you talking about? Bad job.
My dog Scoob was kidnapped by 4 kids. Have you seen him?
Have you seen him?
One of the girls, if she loses her glasses, she can't see shit.
It's bad. I think the dog, he might be stoned, so...
He eats a lot of big sandwiches.
If you see a dog with a big, like a deli sandwich, hit me up. That's probably
I got these Scoob snacks for him.
So the woman said that there's no dog here. So he just hopped in his black SUV and left. But she called the cops on him. She thought something was awry.
Based on the big red dog
Based
answer.
on Clifford. She's an older lady, so who knows if she knew the reference. But it still sounds... even if you didn't know it, it sounds stupid. It sounds fake. I don't know why. So, they end up catching up to him, and they pull him over, and they arrest him on a charge of burglary. Because he was seen coming out of a woman's house with no authorization to be there.
Right.
So he's arrested for burglary of an old woman's trailer in Encinitas.
Embarrassing.
after he made $43 million in his career. So they're like, why? I remember when this happened. Everyone was like, why was he everyone was like, is he confused?
Right.
Was he like,
does he have some CTE problems and
or
he's
was
all
he
beat up?
Drunk? Did he do like a Robert Downey Jr., like
Right.
wake up on somebody's roof because he's fucking on dope, or what's going on here? But anyway, he posts $50,000 bail and is released. And his publicist has a simple explanation for this, obviously.
Right.
And I remember this coming out too, and it was like, well, yeah, obviously he's not like stealing shit from an old lady in a trailer. What the fuck does she have? She says that the publicist says that, quote, an overreactive neighbor called police after she saw Kellen walking around a mobile home. Basically, while this Mr. Winslow emphatically denies committing any burglary, he would have no need to burglarize or steal anything from anyone at a trailer park. Wow.
That is insulting.
He looks forward to being vindicated once this matter is fully investigated and adjudicated through the court system. He also says not only that he was looking for a place for his mother to live. He was looking for a place to buy for his mom.
And just touring people.
Just said, this one looks good. Let me look around. Let's see how this lady has it decorated. See if mom would like.
Store in.
You're an NFL player that's made $40+ million. You're going to buy your mom a trailer?
Right.
Man, fuck you. No, that's the worst thing you've done so far.
Your mom has half the salary of a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I think she's all right.
She's good. So now at this point, they took it. They started saying it was a profiling thing and it was a racial thing.
Okay.
And so the hashtag house hunting while black started trending because of this, because he said he was looking for a place, and that's why they did that. Now, that happens, but not this time.
Wait for the
that
facts
does
to come
happen.
out. Hashtag
that does happen.
Yeah, of course.
But not now. It
Right.
didn't happen. So he's going to court, but on the day he was, this is amazing. He goes to court to go to court for this whole thing. And instead of just going to court and having it, whatever happen, he's rearrested at court that day, and this time he's charged with 9 counts of things here. And we'll talk about what they are. Apparently deputies had kept him under surveillance after he bailed out of jail on June 8th, and after that, he right away, as soon as he got home, he tried to sell his Hummer like immediately, and they thought that was suspicious of why he was doing that. So this is quote, the San Diego Sheriff's Department in the investigation of each of these separately reported incidents did an excellent job of tying all the leads together, being able to conduct a thorough investigation, which ultimately led to our ability to charge in this case. Want to find out what he did? Something a little bit bigger? They say that obviously the breaking into the trailer, he didn't steal anything, he didn't hurt anybody, but it was a critical clue to place into a timeline and place into a series of events.
Oh no,
that happened.
He's been doing this.
He is charged in a string of sexual attacks.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
From March to May 2018. So basically, he did the spring football thing, didn't make it, and then went on a fucking sexual attack spree after that.
For 3 months.
For 3 months, till he got caught.
Yeah.
Because he was still doing it. In June, he was looking around trailers for people. This is all in Encinitas, by the way, right around where he lives. What has he been doing? Well, he is accused of targeting 5 women, ages 54 to 86.
What?
86 is that woman in the trailer, so whatever. But 50, because they said that he was, the charges include forcible sodomy,
oh God,
rape, and kidnapping.
Oh no.
If convicted, he could face life in prison.
You betcha.
This is not good, what he's been doing. And the 86-year-old, they are charging him as he was broke in to sexually assault somebody.
And she wasn't there?
She wasn't there. That's what ended up happening. So, in 2 of the cases, he found victims as they hitchhiked, drove to remote locations, and raped them. We'll tell exactly what happened, but just to give an overview here, the incidents linked to both rape charges share certain similarities. In each instance, the woman got into the vehicle, was driven to an isolated spot where she was attacked, and was driven there under the false pretense of we're going somewhere else, either to a ride or he's taking him out to a lunch or something like that, and then he drives. They all say as he's driving, then the conversation ends.
Really?
Once you're like, hey, where are all the coffee shops? We just passed everything. He won't talk anymore.
He's just selling.
Yeah, and he's taking you somewhere for bad things. The first victim, she'd been hitchhiking when she got into the vehicle, reported that he told her if she screamed, he would murder her.
Oh, boy.
And this, we'll find out more details. He threatened to kill the second rape victim as well. And those 2 rape cases count for the first 6 charges. And there's others. On May 24th, he doesn't even, there's not even a set thing that he does. On May 24th, a 55-year-old woman was gardening. This is a Vietnamese woman. She's from Vietnam. The only reason I say that. So her English later on isn't that great, which makes her hilarious on the stand. Just amazingly funny and awesome on the stand. So she is gardening, pruning flowers, when someone approaches her and commented on the flowers she's pruning. Very nice. They spoke and she turned to walk away, but she felt him following her. So she turned around and saw him 2 feet behind her with his erect penis exposed.
What?
In her front yard in broad daylight.
Cock out.
Cock out. How about that? How about pruning some of this? Yeah, she ran inside and told her husband and called the police. And so that's charged as a misdemeanor indecent exposure. June 1st of that year, 71-year-old woman found him inside her mobile home and confronted him, initially afraid of why he was there. The man told her he was looking for a particular unit, the same number as hers. Like, I'm looking for this number, and she told him to try another park in the area. Yeah. Maybe you got your trailer parks confused, and he left. That was that. So the first two said they were raped after getting into the vehicle, and all of that. So these all happen in Encinitas, so he is charged with kidnapping, rape, and forced oral copulation on a 54-year-old woman in March, kidnapping, rape, and sodomy of a 59-year-old woman in May, indecent exposure in May, burglary with the intent to rape a 71-year-old woman, and burglary with intent to rape an 86-year-old woman. By the way, this isn't it.
No?
There's more.
What?
Oh, yeah. There's more. Don't worry. So the final charge, like we talked about, was the trailer incident there. She was in there but was asleep. So I don't know if he couldn't show her his dick and didn't get excited and walked out.
Chicks aren't hot.
I don't know what he was about. You'd think, an 86-year-old woman is going to get you hot no matter what.
Wow,
but, oh, boy. So, yeah, his lawyer denied all the allegations. He says, this is his lawyer, Brian Watkins. You got to give these guys their...
bastard.
He says, quote, "Of course not. He didn't do these things. Obviously." Jesus, what are we talking about here?
Wait till the facts come out.
He's not a monster.
Right.
His wife, Janelle, trying hard to earn a Shayna Mayfield Award nomination. Real hard. She says, quote, "On behalf of our son and my husband, we want to reiterate our love, support, and affection for him during this difficult process. We will always be there for him, and we know the true facts will come out."
This one's like, "Mom, leave me out of this."
Unfortunately, they are going to come out. Yeah. Oh, boy. So his old coach here, he says that, he agrees with this whole thing. He says, this is a great quote. This is a coach in college. Quote, "He showed the signs of being a perv, but clearly it has escalated. This is another level." He's always been a fucking weirdo, but he wasn't like raping old ladies. This is crazy.
I've seen all my players' dicks. His the most.
So much. I was our mascot. Yeah. In 2003. Like, that was on the flag that the band carried out. It was wild. It was a really long flag. So, these people are all like, Jesus Christ. His wife, I feel terrible for, because she has no idea about any of this.
Right.
And now she's finding out her husband, when he says he's going to Boston Market, he's whacking it in front of people and raping old ladies. This is insanity. His kids, too. His kid's 5.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, people are going to start knowing.
Poor Jaden.
Connecting that together. Jalen. I feel bad for all these people, Jimmy, but not nearly as bad as I feel for Kellen Winslow. Jesus Christ. Athletic director at Central State University.
Oh, that poor bastard.
Kellen Winslow, experienced team leader, public speaker, and advocate for student athletes. That might be his dad. I'm not sure.
Probably.
Kellen Winslow, master's student in forensic psychology at the University of Denver Graduate School.
How many masturbator jokes does he hear?
Yeah, he's like, come on. Yes, I have a master's in masturbation. Yes, forensic masturbation. You're right. Kellen Winslow, news acquisitions editor and camera operator at CTV News in London, Ontario, Canada. And Kellen Winslow, photocopier operator and MS-DOS installation at Rhinenet Press in Ghana.
They're still working on MS-DOS.
I was going to say, where is that? And then I saw Ghana. I was like, okay, it's either Ghana or Mississippi, one of the two.
It's a brand new
That's behind a few years, yeah.
Brand new compact for
Hey, we got this sweet fucking Dell. This is nice.
Comes in a move box.
It's got a Pentium 2 processor in it. It's pretty sweet. So why the fuck is he doing this?
Yeah.
So some press people asked some psychology professors why a person would do this. This is Dr. Neil Malamuth, who's a social scientist and professor of psychology at UCLA, specializing in sexual violence. And he said that his stardom, fame, and wealth may have actually played into his actions. He says, quote, "You'd think he'd have access to any number of women, but our research indicates that sexual arousal to power over women, arousal to being able to subdue women, hostility towards women are parts of being an entitled narcissistic personality. These are the primary risk factors for a man becoming a rapist. Men of privilege are often at the greatest of risk. Think of a lot of men. Think of a lot of the men who have been recently identified through the Me Too movement. Yeah, he's talking about Weinsteins and all of them. Or, right. Yeah, the power plays into it.
Right.
And especially someone whose power is waning, they're going to extra try to hold on to it.
And he knows this is wrong, and is that why he's going after older women, because they wouldn't be able to identify him?
I mean, maybe it's that, or they're an easier target. They're physically, or he might be into older women. He might have a weird fetish too. We don't know. So the ages here, as we'll talk about, because there's more coming up here. Wow. Okay. We're not going to give any of their names. They're Jane Doe 1 through 5, as we'll talk about. We don't need to do that. Most of the places Jane Doe them up, and then they know their names came out, but they wanted to be Jane Doe, so they're Jane Doe here. So Kellen says it's all bullshit.
Okay.
It's all bullshit. He says, quote, "It's a money grab."
Oh, boy.
It's a money grab. Unfortunately, that's the society we live in now.
No, it's not.
Wow.
Smoke, there's fire, pal.
How about we live in a society where an NFL player will go rape a fucking senior citizen? That's the society we're living in. That's fucked up. That's way more fucked up than that. So, yeah. So in the investigation, the topic of pornography came up, obviously. They served search warrants on his home, and they found pornography searches involving elders.
No.
Yeah, he's into old people.
Oh, my God.
That's what he's into, man. He's searching elder porn.
What the fuck,
That's
man?
what he's into. Not even like MILF or something. He's like, nah, it's like 32. I need 73.
That's where you get to when you fucking exhaust all porn.
Yeah,
when
what are you
there's
gonna
nothing
do?
left.
Yeah.
You've got to get more depraved.
He's walking through a desert and he found a rock and he looked under it. He goes, "What's under here?" And he's like, "Old broads. I'll take a shot at it. What the fuck?"
Let's see if eventually that's what you do. You find, because you don't know anymore.
Yeah, and eventually the porn is just watching people at Target because that's live and more exciting. I don't know what his fucking deal is here. So yeah, they did petition to keep that out of the court as evidence.
Oh, I'm sure.
So anyway, now March comes around. He's released on bail, but he's on house arrest. Like he's got a monitor on him. But in March, his bail is revoked because he was accused of more shit. So they revoked his fucking bail. One of the things he's accused of is lewd conduct toward a 77-year-old woman in a gym.
Oh, boy.
In February of 2018, this is Jane Doe number 5. They alleged that in January, by the way, he also, another charge here, he contacted an 18-year-old high school student who was walking home from school and commented that he had seen her in the area the last couple of days. He told her that he thought she was cute. Wow. And asked her for her phone number.
Oh, no.
He asked how old she was and where she lived, but she said no and wouldn't go near him.
I gotta go.
She was smart. Yeah. Wouldn't go near him. She didn't get into his car, but she went into a friend's home who lived nearby. So the parents of that friend contacted police because he was like rolling up next to her. "Hey, you're cute. What's up with you? Hey, where you live? What's your
30.
number? Hey, I'm 35. Never mind 30. He's 35 years old.
Damn it.
Fucking gross, dude. Get your head out of your ass."
Fuck.
She's literally in high school.
Right.
So May of 2019.
Get in. Crystalia's new special.
Come on. We're watching it on my little Escalade fucking TV here. It's going to be great. She's like, "I know him." No.
I got a new Beaver album.
He hits me up all the time on Instagram. It's super weird.
I don't need to watch. I can Snapchat him.
I got this. So pre-trial of 2009 here. He is charged with 12 criminal counts, including 7 felonies stemming from the accusations of 5 different accusers. This isn't all, by the way, taking place here. Now, outside the court, he comes in and out. They said, this is what the local Fox affiliate said. Do you have anything, quote, is there anything you want to say to your fans out there? That's what they asked the guy coming out of a court for 5. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Listen, in LA, all of the TV stations think they have to be TMZ. It's fucking gross.
This is in San Diego, too. They're trying to be something.
Everywhere in California, that's all they ask them. What do you say to the people that love you?
Who cares?
Who gives a fuck?
What do you say to the people who accused you of rape, I would say? He says, quote, I'm innocent. To the people who know me out there, who know what type of person I am, know my character, my NFL friends and family, my regular friends and family, they know who I am.
Yeesh.
I got this.
Yeah.
I'm good now. So, so a friend of his his publicist said that she believes steadfastly in his innocence. She says, I've seen him grow from a young boy into a man, and I know his secrets. Like when he dated multiple women or he was late to a meeting.
Shut up, bitch.
And they weren't drastic.
Stop telling all my secrets.
Of course, anyone would be surprised at the arrest when you've known someone that long. These are guys that are hypersexually active, and there are guys in my career that I've been concerned about with that. Kellen is never one of them. So for this to happen to him is extremely depressing. Happened to him.
Yeah.
It's very sad. So there's 10 days of testimony in the trial. He shows up wearing his, nicest, most sensitive looking pair of glasses he can find, and takes notes, in his yellow legal pad and all that shit.
Very Stringer Bell.
Yeah, total Stringer Bell in college class.
Yeah.
Like he's taking notes, looking up, making that face like, I can't decide. Like Romeo Cornell trying to figure out what play just happened. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah, that's how it's happening here. So that's what he's doing. He didn't he had high-priced attorneys, obviously, and all that sort of shit. So Winslow doesn't say a word. He doesn't testify. His lawyer says, quote, we didn't have to.
Okay.
This is ridiculous. Jane Doe number 1, 55-year-old woman, 54 at the time she met him. She had a rough life, and she's got it rough.
She's a hitchhiker.
She's a hitchhiker, yeah. March 17th, 2018, she was hitchhiking when he picked her up, drove her to a more secluded area, and raped her and threatened to kill her. During one of a preliminary hearing, she misidentified one of Winslow's attorneys, Brian Watkins, as Winslow, because I guess Winslow had changed his look before that hearing and came in with clean shaven and with glasses. And the lawyer had the same look he used to have. Okay, so they made a big deal about that. She's 55 years old. They said she's a petite, dark-haired woman who was on this is St. Patrick's Day, 2018. By the way, he likes doing this on holidays. He's got a Mother's Day rape in his back pocket, too. Holidays, babe. That's what he likes. I don't get it. That's how he celebrates.
Yeah.
Some people have a parade. They get drunk, whatever. He finds
a lot of people have sex on holidays. That's
yeah. So she apparently was walking to some nearby stores, and there's a big hill there outside of this, so she decided to try to hitchhike because she was tired. That's when a black Hummer H2 pulled up, and a man who called himself Dominique. By the way, he's always got a fake name.
Really?
He called himself Dominique, but it's Kellen, offered to drive her about a mile and a half down Santa Fe to Vulcan Avenue, up and over a hill. So she said he seemed friendly, and so she climbed in, and she said that his mood changed quickly.
Yeah.
And she said, quote, he said, quote, I'm not going to take you to Vulcan. I'm going to take you to the store and fuck you. That's what he says. Yeah, she was like, no. She said, maybe just let me out instead. She says, quote, while in her testimony, I just begged him, just pull over right here. You don't have to drive me anymore if that's what you're upset about. Like, whatever it is, I just went out of this fucking car.
I am so sorry.
Yeah, but he was not taking no for an answer. She's only 5 foot tall, this girl, too, and petite, too, this woman. She said she believed that he had a gun on him, because he intimated that he had a weapon in his left pocket shorts. He said, if you do anything, or if you say anything, I will kill you. She said, I just froze. He said, I'm going to do this in the grocery store parking lot. If you don't do this, I'm going to kill you. And he says that he said that he's going to get this done. He's going to fuck me no matter what. Oh my God. Winslow drove the car behind a Vons supermarket that anchors a shopping center there. He parked next to 2 empty cars. He ordered her out of the car. She got out of the car. She said that it was a busy shopping center on a Saturday afternoon. They're parked 50 feet away from the open doors of a sushi restaurant. There's a dry cleaner, a 24-hour fitness, and everything like that. So his lawyers are like, well, why didn't you run away and call for help? Why didn't you run away and call for help? Probably because she's terrified.
A man at 6'5" telling me I'm fucking you no matter what?
I'd be terrified. So she said, they said, why didn't you call 911 on your phone? Well, he probably wouldn't have let me, I would think. She said she was overcome with fear. She said, I was scared. I was really scared to death. I really don't know why I didn't defend myself. Because you're fucking scared. Right. That happens. So, at that point, he said that she was trying to get out of it. And he said, no, I'm going to fucking fuck you, he said. Then he took out his erect penis and told her to suck this.
Yep.
Okay. She then stopped questioning to declare that she wanted to talk about his penis.
Okay.
She stopped and she said, I'd like to talk about his penis. This is dead serious. She said with great emphasis that it was gigantic.
Oh, my God.
She couldn't express how large his penis was.
Yep.
She said that she held her hands in a big circle like she was holding a tree branch, it said in the article.
And he is sitting there in glee.
Oh, that he likes.
This
yeah,
is
I'm
his
sure.
favorite part of the testimony.
She said, I was thinking no one could possibly have a penis that large. I looked over at the jurors, and this is the author saying, looked over at the jurors, and many of them were laughing. Which this is not, it's funny, but it's not funny if she's sitting there. It's not funny
That's
at all.
how funny dicks
are. But she was kind of fun. She was kind of laughing about it at the time, not after a second. So anyway, the courtroom was laughing, and she said, how am I supposed to put my mouth on that? My mouth is not that big. Mm-hmm. So then she said she leaned over and demonstrated how she tried. He again threatened to kill her. So she said, what are you going to kill me with? And he touched his shorts as though he had a weapon.
Yeah.
That's when that happened. So then he had her turn around, and she was now on the outside of the vehicle.
What?
And he raped her.
In a parking lot during the day.
Yeah.
He loves this.
Yeah, it's danger. She said, then I guess he tried to do it anally.
Oh.
So he's trying to do it again. She said she screamed in pain. He picked her up and put her on the seat and choked her. And she said as the lawyer tried to, they tried to talk about this a little bit more. And so they asked, did you actually feel him,
all right,
enter you back there? And she said, all I know is it hurt. So this is,
that's where you forget things.
Yeah. So basically they they tell her that the defense attorneys talk about all the multiple opportunities she had for an easy escape and all of this shit. And anyway, there is DNA analysts testified there was traces of Winslow's sperm mixed with her blood on the crotch of the white panties she turned over to authorities. So that's pretty solid evidence there. What's your sperm do? How many ladies are walking around Phoenix with your sperm in their fucking pants right now?
0.
Ugats, exactly.
Not a 1.
Yep. So that's fucking wild. So this is her charges led to all of this shit here. This is kind of this is the first rape charge. So they told her, I don't like how they keep fucking with her, though. They keep asking, well, why'd you do this? Well, why didn't you do that?
It doesn't matter.
On cross-examination, they asked her about the formation of a GoFundMe page seeking $50,000 on behalf of her mother. And so they try to get her with that sort of shit.
Doesn't matter.
Again, doesn't matter. Sperm in her pants.
Raped or not.
End of story.
That's the end of it.
That's it. They tried to play it off like this was just a consensual relationship and that she was into this. So,
hitchhikers. That's what they're looking for.
Always.
Wow.
I hope somebody picks me up and has sex with me against my will.
Right.
Jane Doe number 2, is a 58-year-old homeless woman.
Oh, no.
Yes. She had to be reminded multiple times to speak loudly enough to talk in the microphone. She's meek.
Yeah.
Her testimony, though, she definitely had some shit to say. At one point, she asked the defense attorney to move away from Winslow so that she wouldn't have to look at her attacker, because he was asking questions standing by. She's like, I don't want to look at him. Can you fucking move away from him? Mm-hmm. She described Winslow as Kevin. That's what she knew him as, offering her rides. I guess he would stop and see her a lot, offer her rides. Sometimes he'd drop food off for her. Yeah. Sometimes he'd bring her a coffee.
Drop her guard.
He's grooming. Yeah, he's grooming her. So she thought he was just this nice guy and well, clearly a wealthier guy in a nice car who's charitable, clearly. At one point, she said, though, he offered her $50 for sex. And she said, I'm not that kind of girl, basically. I may be in a bad place, but that's not why. So, no.
I'm homeless, not a prostitute.
Exactly. She's like, I'm not doing that. So that's fine. So on May 13th, 2018, he picked her up with an offer to take her out for coffee. You want to go out for coffee? And she said, sure. But instead, he pulled her over and choked her and raped her from behind. And raped her from behind while standing outside the passenger side of the vehicle, then ejaculated into the roadside dirt.
Wow.
Just gross. That's just gross.
Yeah. That's a guy that's seen CSI, apparently, though.
I mean, yeah.
But he doesn't know that there's still some in there,
It's still
sir.
in there, dude.
Right.
Yeah, as like the last one.
Right.
So at one point, his lawyer, Kellen's lawyer, asked her if she had told her friends about the $50 offer before that, and she said, what does that have to do with the rape? And she said, that's what I don't understand, especially since I said no to the $50 offer. I don't know why you're fucking asking me that. She said that she told him, please don't do this, after he pulled over on the side of the road and told her that they were going to have sex. In response, he said, quote, it's a done deal.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. And he choked her and threatened to keep her quiet. She said, I just put my head down. I was waiting for it to be over. This is a woman who's had a hard life and has had this happen to her probably before.
Yep.
She's homeless. I can't imagine what she's been through. Someone who says, I just put my head down and wait for it to be over this isn't.
She's been through before.
She's had a rough life. She said afterwards he wouldn't even look at me anymore. She said she got back in the vehicle and he dropped her off in nearby Encinitas before driving away. She said the next day a friend of hers persuaded her to report the incident after the friend sensed something was wrong and she told her. So the friend said, quote, she said she was taken somewhere and she said she was raped, because the friend also testifies. Now, Kellen Sr.'s there the entire time.
What?
He's in the courtroom.
He's heard all this.
Oh, he's eye fucking he's eye fucking these women. He's eye fucking the defense attorney or the prosecutors. Right. He's eye fucking the judge. He's talking shit about everybody. He's an asshole in this whole thing. He's there. He said that he's always going to be there for his family and blah blah blah. And they brought a bunch of relatives there. During the trial, he'd bring relatives back and forth to the bathroom. He acted like he was like the tour guide, Kellen Sr. of the courthouse. On one occasion, he accused a news station staffer carrying a microphone in his pocket of secretly recording family conversations and petitioned bailiffs to have the man removed. And instead, the bailiff moved him to another section. It's like, yeah, whatever, just go over there. On another occasion, he accused a reporter of following his ex-wife in a car during a lunch break. And when the reporter said, quote, do you think your son needs help? And Winslow gave him a hard glare. That's not the only thing he'll say, too, because he yells at the prosecutor at one point. At the prosecutor.
While it's happening. Oh, boy.
Now, his wife at this point, Janelle, remember her?
Oh, Kellen Jr.'s
wife here. She appeared aside her husband while entering and exiting the preliminary hearings, but made no appearances at the trial until the closing arguments. Okay, and by the way, during the trial, they had their 13th wedding anniversary. Isn't that sweet?
If she didn't show up during the trial, somebody told her what the evidence. It's evidence day. Don't show up today.
Plus, it's going to look bad to have you sitting there because all the jury's going to look at you and see how you're reacting to this. Not good. So, Jane Doe number 3, a 59-year-old Vietnamese woman,
right?
That we talked about here.
She got cock flashed and went and got her husband.
Yep, she had to testify through a translator. She said that she encountered Winslow in front of her house twice. She said that on the first occasion, a man rode up on a bicycle. He's an avid cyclist, they said. Approached her, introduced himself as David, and asked if she was married. She said yes and walked away. On the second occasion, which was May 24th, that's when she was cutting flowers, and he whipped his cock out.
Right.
And she said, though, that she did not see his face well. She explained in court that in the Vietnamese culture, it's impolite to look a stranger directly in the face.
Also, there was an enormous cock in my yard.
Plus, I was distracted by a, quote, gigantic penis that was rock hard and
that was
pointing
now
at me
out in my yard
and threatening to come near me closer.
Putting shade on my petunias.
She said her physical description, she said the cyclist was muscular. At first, she said he was shorter than he was. So there was that. She said, quote, I was cutting flowers and he was right there. He walked up behind me. He asked if I was cutting a lot of flowers. I said, only these flowers. Then she tried to walk away and he wouldn't leave. And she said, oh no, he didn't want to see the flowers. I was walking toward the orange tree and he was following me. He took his pants off and exposed his penis to me. I said, no, 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 and walked away. She said he just pulled his shorts down enough so that he exposed himself to her. He was wearing like a tight biking outfit, basically.
Gross.
So she went and woke her husband from a nap, and then she called police, quote, because he came to my house and showed me his penis. That's very sick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the question was...
That's gross, James. He pulled his, like, elastic... wasted shorts down to show the dick, and then she was like, no.
No.
Hell of a pickup line, Kellen.
It's not bad. So the prosecutors didn't ask her to identify him in court, and it's not clear if she knew that he was even there because she kept her head down. On the stand, she said Vietnamese customs not to look people in the face or strangers. She said, I don't care about him. I don't look at him. That's what she said on the stand. Then on the stand, she said that she did not know the height of the man, but she surmised that he was smaller than this deputy who was there, who stands 6'3", 6'4", and weighs about 250 pounds. She says, quote, that person is not as fat as the deputy because the deputy is very fat. Which is when a foreign accent is just hilarious in a court of law.
Yeah.
That is fucking wonderful. It's like, okay. He had apparently the officer is actually a big weightlifter, but he had a bulletproof vest on and all that shit, so he looked fatter than he was. Yeah. She was like, great, I'm fat now. So between the tattoos that she identified, though, because he's covered in tats, and the GPS data from a cycling app that placed him in the area at the time of the question,
idiot.
It's enough to kind of get that. Now, Jane Doe number 4. Jane Doe number 4 is 33 years old, but she is coming forward from an incident from June of 2003.
Oh?
Yeah, June of 2003. She was 17 and he was 19 at the time.
Oh, no.
Yes, and they had a consensual encounter at one point and then a not-so-consensual encounter. Apparently, she was living with her family when she saw him get arrested for all this shit, and she said that she saw an article and was like, holy shit, that's the guy.
Right.
She said, all of a sudden I see his face and I click on it and I'm just like, no way. I start crying. That's what she says here.
She feels so guilty.
So bad. She shouldn't expect to see his face.
Yeah, but she's got to feel like if she would have said something back then, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
It's not your fault, girl.
No, they would have, 2003, they would have rushed this right under the rug with him and football and everything. Right. No fucking way. Yeah, it would have just hurt you. So they asked her why'd she wait 15 years, and she reacted angrily to certain questions about, shit like that from the defense. She said this was her second meeting with Winslow was the problem after having consensual sex with him at a party 2 weeks earlier. In that encounter, she said the sex was interrupted when his friend Matt entered the room.
God damn it, Matt.
And Kellen said, oh, he's just going to watch.
Oh, no, he's not.
Oh, no. She said, no, she's not okay with that shit.
I'm 17. This is one of my first experiences.
Matt's not going to watch. No. Sorry.
This is when I'm 39 and I'm fucking tired of fucking you.
Yeah,
that's when this
when I need
happens.
some weird shit to spice up the fucking collection here. When I'm into elder porn.
Right.
It's right before my elder porn. That's what you do there. So she said that she wasn't okay with that, and she got upset, and she left without incident. So that was fine. About 2 weeks later, he gave it a shot. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
About 2 weeks later was the night in question. She said that she had 2 or 3 beers, and she went with Winslow to another party where she entered the bathroom to try to sober up. She said he knocked on the bathroom door, and she came out and sat on the couch. She said at some point she doesn't remember exactly how we got to another place. She says nobody gave me anything. She doesn't think. She said she wasn't given drinks or drugs that night or anything like that. She's even been to a hypnotist to try to explain the gap in the memory here. After going to the couch, she doesn't remember anything except regaining consciousness when she was on a bed in a bedroom on all fours with Winslow raping her from behind and Matt in front of her with his pants down.
Oh, no.
Trying to stick his dick in her face.
Right.
So she said Winslow was pushing her head toward Matt's groin area, and in response, she pushed back and told him to stop. She said that she remembers, she doesn't know how she got there, doesn't know exactly what happened. She said she was just telling him to just stop. Now, Kellen's lawyers are suggesting that because she said something escalated, so they lock on to that and they start talking about escalation and talking about maybe the whole incident escalated into this. So it's, it was voluntary. She said, I don't know. The fact that I said stop, and he said, once again, your words were escalate. I'm just wondering why. So she says, because it escalated to the point where someone is penetrating me with his fucking penis. When someone tells you to stop, you stop, okay? Great fucking answer. Thank you, asshole lawyer man.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Jesus, somebody drag him out in the fucking street and rape him.
Yeah.
I would love for that guy in the middle of that. It's one thing everybody needs a defense.
Yeah.
That's great. But when you're badgering a girl like that, I want you to be dragged outside and raped in front of all of your clients. All of them.
When she says I was raped and you try to turn...
you explain.
Right.
While you're being raped. I can't get away from this. This is crazy. That's why it's rape, because I don't have a fucking choice. That's the point. Jesus Christ.
There's a cock inside me that I do not want.
Yeah, so she said that Matt got up, but Kellen flipped her onto her back and continued the assault here. She said that Matt told Winslow to stop and helped her get dressed and leave. The other friend actually helped. She never reported the incident to law enforcement until then. So, she said that she has 2 young daughters and it made her come forward. So that makes sense.
Matt's a good dude, it sounds
apparently, or at least half decent.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, hey, let's go Eiffel Tower this chick. And he was like, all right. I mean, if she's into it. But then when she wasn't into it, he was like, hey, fucking hands off.
I don't know,
Jesus Christ.
Matt probably thought she's into this.
That's what I mean. If someone
she
tells
said, no, Kellen, I can't get hard
this
anymore.
ain't cool for me. And you shouldn't be doing it either. Let me help her get dressed. Not only did he stop, he helped her help extricate her from the situation because she clearly wasn't into it. Please, God damn it, more guys do that. For fuck's sake, do that. So, she says, I look at 2 innocent girls and would never want them to ever feel like they didn't have a voice. Yeah.
Obviously.
She said that she didn't think anybody would believe her, especially considering how famous he got and that his father was so famous, especially in San Diego and all that sort of shit. So, her story was also backed up by 2 people who testified here. Her husband, a U.S. Marine, said that she told them previous years about being sexually assaulted by him, and another boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend, said that she had nightmares about it when they were living together. However, he said that she told him the assault took place in a car, but who knows for years. So anyway, this is fucked up, man. She said, I remember screaming no. Yeah. That's bad. Yeah. Jane Doe number 5, a 77-year-old woman who works out regularly with her husband at a Crunch gym in Carlsbad, California.
Yeah.
Winslow was also working out there. February 13th, 2019, he was out on bail for all this shit. She testifies that she was exercising at a machine when Winslow stood in front of her and touched himself through his clothing, asking if she liked it. 77.
While he's on bail.
She said that, and it was him, she came, from time to time, she said she'd seen him before. From time to time, he always moved his head to the left of where I was, but it's not unusual. People look at other people on machines, sometimes waiting for the person to finish the machine to use it, to see how much time there's got,
It's the gym.
Yeah, it's, you're scoping.
Right.
So, she said Winslow was using machines similar to some thigh thing. I don't know.
The pussy spreader?
Yeah, she said he had his legs open and he was touching his penis and he was just kind of stroking or something like that. The moment I saw that happening is when I was right next to him. She said that, he was stroking his penis.
What?
She said that's when she noticed it because she was right next to him. She said, I want for him to leave. He didn't belong there. So I asked him to leave the machine. I asked him to let me use the machine. Winslow got up from the machine and left. She said, I was so upset. I was feeling so bad, but I only wanted him to leave. I don't want for him to make me scared. I wanted to continue my routine. So later that day, she said that he returned and walked right up to her, walked up 4 feet away and began doing stretches while displaying an erection.
Yeah.
So she said, I wanted to say something, but I couldn't. So I was just probably frozen in fear. And he said to me with a very funny and happy face, "Do you see this?" Pointing to his penis. Hey, look what I got. Like he's got a fucking ice cream cone.
This is why Johnny Knoxville's a menace, because he made this shit. He was doing this in fucking...
Yeah, but to his friends.
Right. No, he would walk up to strangers with his fake balls hanging out the pant leg and as a bad grandpa or whatever.
Yeah, he wasn't raping, though.
No.
He said, "Do you like it?" And when he said that to me, it just looks like I woke up and I reacted because I wanted to ask him to leave me alone, to move from there, but I couldn't. It was like I couldn't talk. But at that moment when he said, "Do you like it?" my reaction was raising my voice. "What did you just say to me?" So she said that he left and went downstairs. Shortly after, she spotted her husband and thought, "I will never, ever share this with anybody. I won't report him. I'm just going to keep this to myself forever." So she said she didn't want to report him because she didn't know how her husband would react. Okay. She said, "I didn't want to put my husband in any kind of trouble." He's going to go attack him with a fucking tire iron.
He's a bad dude.
I guess he's a 75-year-old fucking badass.
He kills people for less. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. He's done it before. But I guess in the car ride home, she changed her mind and told her husband what happened. She said, "I told him he's a tall black guy with tattoos all over his arms, and that's all I said to him." So the husband went to report the incident, but she refused. And then she didn't see him at the gym again until February 22nd. She was in the hot tub. She thought she was alone. She said, "I was in the jacuzzi for a few minutes, and then I saw a person standing by the men's locker room wearing exactly the same exactly that he wore on the first incident." I guess the same outfit. She said that he grabbed a drink from the water cooler and looked at her as he drank. He then returned to the men's locker room. A few minutes later, I can see a silhouette next to the door, and he's bending down trying to do something to his leg. And I'm thinking he's just trying to scare me. So shortly after, she said he came out again. By this time, he's only wearing a small towel around his waist.
God damn it.
She described the towel as a small one the gym provides to wipe down the machines, not the larger ones used for showering. It's got like a tiny...
He's got like a loincloth.
Like a hand towel around his cock, his giant cock. The towel rested roughly 6 inches above his knee, she said. She said he's looking at me and just kind of smiling, and he pointed at his bathing suit on top of the bag, like happy, like showing me his bathing suit was there, not on him.
What do you see about that?
Yeah, so she said he was implying that he wasn't wearing one. She said he walked toward the hot tub where she could only stare at the water in fear. She said he came and sat right by my side. He sat there for about 18 inches away from her. She said, "I couldn't do anything. I guess when you're so afraid, you're just kind of frozen. You can't move. You can't do anything. I'm just sitting there." Then she said he began to masturbate.
Oh, my.
His hand was down in the water, and all I noticed is his arm. The hot tub jets were on, and she describes a layer of foam in the water, making it difficult to see under the water. But she said he was masturbating. I can feel the water coming from his side to my side. Oh, God. She said that I don't want to look at him. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to see him. So I just look at the foam. I don't know what else to do. I was petrified. She said that he touched her with his right hand. He touched her left arm. He grabbed my arm. She said with his leg, he touched my left leg with his foot. And then she moved toward the wall to try to avoid him. She said, I was able to ask him, "Was that your foot that just touched my leg?" And his answer was, at the moment, "If the jets go off, how do we put them back on?" Okay. So at this point, she noticed a third person got into the hot tub, and that third person then got up and left. So she said that he then started rubbing his hands very happy, and he said, "It feels so good."
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, shortly after, her husband entered the area. As soon as I saw my husband, I left the jacuzzi and went to the big pool and went and talked to my husband. She said she didn't tell her husband about the incident immediately, but she pointed him out to her husband to show her the man from the first incident. She said, "I was just thinking, why me? Why is this the second time this happens to me?" So, soon after, he left the hot tub and took off there. The husband reported the incident to the gym's manager, and so there was that. So
he wants porn to be his life.
Yeah, he just wants it to all be porn.
Every day.
Every live porn, just whatever he can find.
He just wants it always to be porn.
Old lady in a hot tub, porn. So she said she just wanted him kicked out of the gym, nothing more. She wasn't looking for anything more. So there's that. Now, forensics here. This is the Scottsdale Police Department. Forensics scientist here, Mike Palermo. Got DNA samples found inside of his Hummer. Now, these are from 6 different locations inside the SUV: the front passenger side door panel, the front passenger side seatbelt, the rear passenger side seatbelt, the rear driver side seatbelt, the rear middle seat area, and the rear floorboard area. They found a DNA sample matched Winslow's profile, but excluded the possibility of Jane Doe's 1 and 2's DNA. Semen stains were found in the rear middle seat and rear floorboard areas. Jesus Christ.
It's coming all over this thing.
The DNA profile obtained from the item matched Kellen Winslow. What's his car? Of course, he's going to jerk off in it. He also said samples from the front passenger side seatbelt and the rear seatbelt provided inconclusive results. The rear passenger side seatbelt, the results excluded Jane Doe 1 and were inconclusive for Jane Doe 2. The prosecutors were saying that he was trying to sell his car because there's fucking,
there's jizz everywhere.
There's jizz everywhere. There's just forensic evidence all over it. Jizz spatter is a serious thing.
My God.
So, the verdict. Let's see here. Let's start with the counts that didn't work out here. He is acquitted on one lewd conduct charge. Okay, he's acquitted on that. The jury could not reach a verdict on 8 of the 12 counts.
Really?
Okay, leading to mistrial on those charges. All right, now we'll talk about it. All of them were, more people were voting for guilty than not guilty, but we'll talk about that. He is convicted, though, of raping the 58-year-old homeless woman and exposing himself to a 59-year-old woman in front of her house and touching himself inappropriately in front of a hot tub lady there at the gym. So they said the jury on Jane Doe 1's count could not come to a verdict on the other 3 counts linked to the accusations: kidnapping, forcible rape, and forcible oral copulation. The jury split on those 3 charges 7-5 in favor of guilt. So Jane Doe 4, they couldn't reach a verdict on the 2 counts, forcible rape and rape of an unconscious person connected to her. The jury was split 10-2 in favor of guilt on that one.
Really?
Oh boy. And then Jane Doe 5, he was found not guilty on the second lewd conduct charge, as only acquittal of the 12 counts. So all of those charges can be retried. So a verdict was not reached on the 2 other ones, the willful cruelty to an elder and battery against an elder. So he's found guilty on rape, though, for 2 of them.
That's a problem.
They put him in prison. They're going to retry him on the remaining charges.
Are they really?
They're going to retry him, and when they retry him, they're going for life in prison. They say they want out of this.
Good.
They want to fucking put him away forever.
He is a predator.
He's a predator, and he's dangerous. He's a big, giant person who's scary and dangerous, and wants to put his dick in you.
And if he gets
from every
out,
direction.
He doesn't want somebody that has a story.
No,
so
he's
murder's
start killing
next.
people. Yeah. Well, how many people has he raped in the past?
Boy.
How many people has he done this to, Jimmy?
All over the country.
I mean, it's ridiculous. So the retrial, he's going to be retried on the remaining charges. He says he's going to put forth the CTE defense.
What?
Yep. They said that he's all fucked up in the head and all this type of shit. Everything. They said that the lawyer said, we've had him evaluated. I feel confident we can present something to the judge which will outline the impact of his football playing career. So he's fucking his head. You know how it is? August of 2019, his wife sells their home for $2.85 million. It's in Encinitas. It's a 4.5 bedroom. 4 bedroom, 4.5 bath. I don't know how you get a half a bedroom. 4,251 square foot house.
A closet.
Yeah, I guess. A gated property, big, nice house. It's a fucking nice house. 900 square foot covered outdoor kitchen area.
Wow.
Very nice stuff here. Very nice.
That's half the size of most people's houses.
No pool.
What?
What are you doing?
Why would you?
Why would you do that? So September of 2019, the next month, his wife files for divorce. Finally. What the fuck took you so long?
Honestly.
First time he's whipping his dick out in front of old ladies. Those papers should be coming down. What are we
she
talking
thought
about?
probably maybe he wouldn't get convicted,
Something.
so she sticks around.
So November 5th, 2019, we're beginning of the retrials. Opening statements come out, and a few minutes before the opening statements are about to start, Kellen Winslow yells at the prosecutor.
Oh, boy.
I guess the prosecutor looked back, and Winslow said, do not look over here. The guy was like, what? And he said, do not look over here. Look away from me. He yelled at the prosecutor. So they were like, okay.
Senior?
Yeah, senior. They were like, all righty.
Yep.
So Winslow Sr. made eye contact with him and yelled at him for it. So anyway, the bailiff motioned Kellen Sr. outside and, talked to him, just told him to relax, obviously. So there's a doctor here, Dr. Robert Cantu. He says, the way I view CTE is just like any debilitating brain disorder, it will bring out genetic problems and make them worse. If you are genetically programmed to have a problem with, for instance, aberrant sexual behavior, put CTE on top of it and it's like pouring gasoline on a fire. because it's impulse control. However, you have to balance that with this. The overwhelming majority of people who commit the kind of acts that Kellen Winslow is alleged to have committed didn't play football in the NFL, didn't have repetitive head trauma, and clearly CTE wasn't why they did that. So can't put that on there. Right before it's about to start, Kellen pleads guilty.
Of course he does.
He stops. He pleads guilty to raping the unconscious woman in 2003, the 17-year-old, guilty to sexual battery, and for the 54-year-old hitchhiker. This is to save him life in prison.
Really?
Yeah, they make a deal that he will not get life in prison. We'll talk about it here. So he's sitting there, we're ready to plead guilty, and the judge asks him, are you going to plead guilty, like you said? And he said, quote, I guess I have to. And the judge said, no, you don't have to.
You don't have to do anything.
Said, it's your decision. As I've said, we have the jurors out there waiting. Both sides are prepared to give their opening statements, and if you want to insist on your right to a jury trial, we're ready to give you a jury trial right now. And he says, I'm sorry, I'm just not thinking very clearly. Well, yeah, you got a couple things on your mind.
Yeah.
He asked the judge for a couple more minutes, and then he finally entered guilty pleas moments before he's going to be retried on everything like that. The judge, he told the judge that, quote, I pray to God that he would sentence him to 12 years or more so that he could go home to his family and not life. In exchange for his plea, they agreed to sentence him to between 12 and 18 years in prison.
For this one?
For
all of it?
For all of it.
Oh, my.
That's going to be his sentencing. He admits, now he's got to actually allocute, though. He admits, he said, quote, I unlawfully had sexual intercourse with Jane Doe number 4 when we were both teens. She was 17, I was 19, and she was not my spouse. She was at the time unconscious, and I do not dispute her memory for purposes of this plea. The judge asked, did you in fact do that? Those facts that make you guilty of the crime? And he paused for several seconds and again said that he wasn't thinking very clearly, and then said, yes.
Oh, boy.
So he admitted to it. He also admitted to touching an intimate part of Jane Doe number 1 while she was restrained in fear against her will or for the purpose of sexual arousal. So, the lawyer said they had to do this, basically. His lawyer said the downside of any conviction would land him in prison for the rest of his life. He made the decision based on his family, his father, his children, and he wanted to be there for them in the future. So by accepting this plea agreement with sentencing range that it has, he's got a set number that he has to do rather than spending the rest of his life in prison. Wow. The prosecutor here said that he was happy the women didn't have to testify again. Even though they were willing to, and they would have. He says, quote, each of these victims, they didn't try to come out here in order to frame Mr. Winslow. The fact that they had the courage to come forward and speak with law enforcement and testify to all these things that he had done while facing all these cameras, I think it was important to me to make sure that the truth was heard, and that it was important to me to make sure that he was held accountable for each one of those crimes. So, I would say so.
Do they have to accept it?
Who?
The state of California? Do they have to accept the plea if somebody offers to plea?
You can not accept it, but it has to be like well out of range, because there's sometimes a prosecutor will agree on a sentencing range with a deal, and in some states the judge can fucking ignore that and give them whatever they want. So that has to be weighed into it too, whether you're going to make the deal or not. So that happens now. Jesus Christ. The DA says he does face a possible commitment as a sexually violent predator to an indeterminate term, meaning for the rest of his life, if into a state hospital if he's found to meet that criteria, and we proceed with a petition to have him committed to a state hospital. That would not be a determination. That would not be a determination that would be made until he's eligible for parole at the time of his potential release. So they're going to try to have him put away
after
as a sexual predator.
Good.
Like put in a mental hospital after he's out of jail.
They should.
They should. No, he's dangerous. I don't want him out at all.
No.
So he would not be able to be automatically released into the community until he has at least been evaluated by 2 psychologists appointed by the state.
Or 10.
Or 10, or let's just let all of them talk to him. So March 18th, 2020 is sentencing, and it is delayed due to COVID.
God damn it.
Delayed due to COVID. No sentencing. They said, who knows? They're going to try for October. He has a hearing on October 15th, but we don't know if that's going to go on or if it'll get pushed back again. Letters from the family. Kelly, let's a final silver word here.
Oh, boy.
Wow. His family said, this is a letter from his dad pleading for his, freedom here. I now know he was extremely angry with me for suggesting that after his 7th season in the NFL, it was time to leave the game. He says still he was able to pass the team's medical, physical, and play another 2 seasons. Even if it was clear to the entire NFL that his career was over, he waited 3 years for a phone call from an NFL team that was never going to come. I imagine that this depression deepened as he sought that miracle surgery or device that would take away the pain in his knee and return him to the NFL. So that's the excuse is all, hey, he was just sad. He was sad about his career, so he needed to rape people.
Wow.
His mom says, quote, Kellen has expressed remorse for these crimes. As a family, we are strong in faith and we pray for forgiveness of these crimes. And he continues to ask for forgiveness from the victims and their families. He is suffering and needs medical help. He has never been a problem child or adult and has been a wonderful son all of his life. In the past, as a past NFL wife myself, I can honestly say that the NFL injuries, whether it be mentally or physically, are severely crippling those who loved to play and played the game. He said, this is not the son we raised, and these accusations were things that Kellen would have never done in his right mind, capitalized. He has always been very polite and kind and a fun-loving young man. So, yeah, it comes up basically, you know what? He has to serve 85% of his sentence is how it works. So we know the range. Yeah. We need this. Yeah. You, sir, may fuck off at least 12 years in prison, if not 18. And I would think he's getting the max. Yeah. Think he's getting the fucking full ride here. And
at 18 years, he'd have to serve 12 of them, right? About
85, 15 of them about, yeah. So that's close.
That's not enough. He's still going to be very able.
That's what I'm saying.
With an enormous cock.
Enormous penis. That's not going to shrink over time. So can't get enough? Well, I'm sure there's autographs and jerseys, but you don't fucking want them. He's a rapist. Be sure to watch him get sentenced. That's something you can watch, and that'll be fun. Fuck this guy.
Oh, boy.
He's in prison.
Yep.
Fuck Kellen Winslow Jr. right in the ass. Can't stand him.
James.
Imagine how scary he is in prison with his giant penis.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. So that's him.
Yep.
Fuck that guy.
Oh, boy.
What a dick. So I've been waiting for that to get resolved, and then it got resolved. It got pushed back, and I'm like, okay, this could be forever. We're getting this over with and doing this goddamn episode. So we did it. So if you like that episode, you're sick, but I think we did a pretty good job with it. So give us 5 stars, why don't you? Apple Podcast, that purple icon, help us out. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything crime and sports and small town murder. Merchandise, tickets to live shows, especially coming up, virtual live show, October the 29th, wherever you are in the world. Finally, we can see our Australian friends and our English friends and all of European and South American and everybody. We can't wait. We're very excited for that. That is over at shutupandgivememurder.com. You can get your tickets. We are doing the all-violent felon edition of the prisoner dating game, where I will present Jimmie 4 bachelors and 4 bachelorettes.
Whole bunch of Kellen Winslows.
He won't get to see them, but you will. And we will give their pitch that they give on their dating website for Please Date Me. And then Jimmie will pick someone based on that. And then we will show him who he's picked and what they've done wrong, which is horrific usually because it's all violent felons. So check that out. So much fun. That's shutupandgivememurder.com. Do that. And you should listen to Small Town Murder. If you're not, you're out of your mind. Listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie as well. We did Bedazzled last week. That movie sucked, so I had to do that. Follow us on social media. We are at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, at Small Town Murder on Instagram. crimeandsports@gmail.com is our email address, obviously. And if you want to get more stuff, you can do it. You can be a patron. You can be a Patreon member. You go to patreon.com/crimeandsports, and you can get access to all the great bonus material.
Yes, sir.
This past week, we just did prison teams for Crime and Sports, kind of sports in prison over the years, which was pretty damn funny.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty weird.
I'm torn between wanting them to be able to do it and not.
Exactly. You don't want Kellen Winslow to be able to play anything, but if someone's in there for some non-rapey offense, go knock yourself out. Learn how to fucking hit the curveball for all I care. And we did famous and non-famous, too, murder houses on Small Town Murder and how they sold and what happened when they sold them. We had famous murder houses. We had non-famous murder houses. We had like the Manson murders, those different houses. We had Ted Bundy's childhood home, Jeffrey Dahmer's childhood home. Things like that. So it's very interesting. Check it out. And next week or 2 weeks from now, we will be doing for Crime and Sports as bonus team songs. So those are the most embarrassing thing ever. Think of Super Bowl Shuffle, and everyone had something like that. And we're going to watch all of them. We're going to talk about the wrestling albums. It's going to be fucking awful. So check that out. All of that great stuff at patreon.com/crime in sports. And of course, any donation at all gets Jimmie to mispronounce your name at the end of the show. That includes if you want to just do a PayPal donation. You don't get access to the bonus stuff, but you do get good karma and your name mispronounced. And you can do that very easily over at PayPal using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. Jimmie, this has been too much bad news. Yeah. This whole thing. I need good news. Who are the people who would never, ever, ever kidnap us, drive us to a remote parking lot, and rape us? Hit me with them now.
Executive producers this week are Chris Cotting. Hang in there, man. Kirk and Shannon Gammon wanted him to know that. Jordan Bennett. And she says, happy Canadian Thanksgiving. I don't know if you know that.
Hey.
I learned that this week. Dylan Banfield, Melissa Turner, Ryan Guest, Nilu Rafsanjani, Brandon Slade, Jessica Leitke, The Caboozle, Margaret Gary, Joy Brown, Matt Skinner, Holly Hounslow, Jennifer Hugo, Austin, Carter, Ann Roth, Daniel Hirsch, Dan Clark, and the memory of Brendan Lee Stumpf. I don't know if you know this, but it is his Angelversary. That's what his mom calls it. I think that's fucking sweet.
Yeah, very sweet.
Very cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cammie J, other producers this week. Cammie J, Alexis Finn, Robert Wood, Thomas Smith, Ashley Vio. Cammie J donated both ways, by the way.
Thank you.
He was going through some health shit, and he wrote me that he was going into Patreon. I was like, seriously, you guys, take care of you before you take care of us. But thank you very, very much.
Especially if you're sick.
Honestly. Ashley Vio, what is this? Tatum, Wyam, Dick Minge, Rebecca Rose, Jason Kluga, Fabian Brosens, Molly Apple, Anthony Kendall, Daniel Morgan, Praise D, Brandon, what is this? Benio. He donated both ways. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank
Appreciate it.
We'll figure out how to say your name.
Ann Bolin, Anthony with no last name, Donna with no last name, Cindy Zhang, Capita, what is this? Capita White. Fuck off, John Daniel. I don't know why.
All right, well, take that, John Daniel.
Apparently, he's an asshole.
Eat a dick, sir.
Liz Vasquez, Alexa Monty, happy birthday,
Liz.
Monte.
Liz Vasquez. Thanks for the Drakes, by the way.
Also, M&Ms with brownies inside them. Thank you. You're a darling.
Appreciate it.
Tiffany Cronquist, predictively poetic. Chi Kai, Peyton Meadows, happy birthday. John DeLong, Michael Lambert, Bud with no last name. Jolie Cloutier, I think. Steve Hoffman, Alyssa Linnell, James Martyr, Erica Stein, Joe Way, Samuel Devitak, Valerie Peak, Joanne Ahern, Madeline Brott, Brianna, Elizabeth Hamp. I think it's Hamp. God damn it. Samantha McKenna, Jason Scott, Katarzyna Niedzolka.
Wow.
I'm getting pretty good at that one.
Yeah.
It's every week, so it's going to give me practice.
That's
Todd Roberts, I know.
Good name.
Megan Engel, Dan Ramsey, Ben McDonough, 4th anniversary with Jamie. Happy anniversary. Haley Nicholas, Deborah Shuttleworth, Christian Bangdahl. That's gross. Dwayne Hughes, Stacy Arthur, Susanna Rodriguez, Rohan B, Crystal Rhodes, Jason McNutt, Matthew Longrine, I think, Andrew Welmer, Selena Schmidtka, Liz Cieslick, John with no last name, Sabrina McGill, Jennifer Edwards, Mandy Knight, Daniel Shadrick, Kayla Worley, Anne-Marie Bryant, Lynn Rockstar Minogue, Tom with no last name, Trina McElroy. Happy birthday to Tavia Hughes, I think. Is it? I don't know. I'm a terrible reader. Greg Workman, Katie Hines, Deborah Waddell, Samantha Hogan, Caitlin Stein, Brooke Kale, Jenna Williams, Mendy Schmidt, Mark Nazari, I think, Nazari. Could be anything. Brian Wolin, Tyler Gwill, Mary Kip Sousley, Maria, Shelby Callahan, Damon Thompson, Sally Pigeon, I think, Kylie Farrer, Jennifer Linden, Janice Hill, Virginia Harness, Deanna Post, Trevor Coons, Bliss Mendoza, happy birthday, Alyssa Kane. I don't know, hashtag cucumber. I guess that's what she's getting.
All right, well, hey.
She needs all the cucumbers, I guess. Katie Hennessy, Landon Rock, Ann Gall, Melissa Wheeler, Nick B, Darius N. Soja, Corin Nakanafucking Zuski. There's no way that's right.
Nakanazuski.
It's a brutal last name.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like how you bailed on it. And just
listen, I'll go halfway with you. I got the Suski proto. Alyssa Mitchell, Ben Burke, Andy Coates, Jet Allison, Ashley Harkey. Hake, that's an A. Damn it. Mark Warner, Taylor Deloigne, Allison Horrocks, Nikki Bishop, Lindsay Schroeds, Jenna Crode, Andrew Folks, Christian Dixon. Also gross. What?
A lot of Dixon.
I know. It's a lot.
People.
Lindsay W., Dan Evans, Sarah Lees, Ahmed Musa, Matt Klopfer, Jennings, Sicorso, McCoy. Can't be right. Dave Yamagishi, Alyssa McCoy, George Armstrong, Ryan Gandolfo. Jesus. Sarah Reed, Gillian, Justin Henry, Leonie Turner. What? Chris Broodwall, Amanda Rivers, Anastasia Dela Cruz, Kyle Greitz. God damn it. Ryan Harless.
You guys are going to break Jimmie today.
I know.
He's just having a tough... Sometimes you flow better than others, and sometimes you can't even get the page turned there. You're having a hard time.
Jennifer Hall, Brad Miller, Fernando Rodriguez, Jeff Lee.
You can do it, Jimmie.
I'm doing my best.
You're doing it.
Campbell,
Don't you fucking
Campbell
get discouraged.
08, Claire Chad, Stephen Martin,
Yeah.
Jordan Bailey, Heather Curry, Brandon Clifton, Carly Farrer. God damn it, Jeff Peed. Probably
at some point.
Elizabeth Collodi.
I like Call a Diddy better.
Meredith Briley, Kate
name.
Bodian, Sherry Sexton, Gwendolyn with no last name, Sandra Rivera, Justin Hogue, Travis Hoyland, Eric Leinen, Michael Myers. Enjoy fucking Thanksgiving.
Halloween is the holiday you're looking for, I believe.
What am I doing? Christine Valdez, Chrissy Gunnels, Joanne Begley, Adrian Jackson, Sarah with no last name, Alicia Parmenter, Alexandra Fox, Michelle Reese, that's Linda Reyes, Genevieve Zyla, Vin Reddy, Wesley Klinovich, Clinique.
Hey.
Jamie Fretch, Gordy Bunk. God damn it, what? Alina Ogden, Tara with no last name, Karen Howard, David Wallace, Jay Cham, Ichiguro, Ichigo Karasakaki.
You sound like a redneck. Ichigara, what's some slanty something? I don't know. They got eyes that are funny and some kind of thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Kirajaki?
Yeah.
I don't know. Dave Brown, Aaron Klein.
Is it Japanese, the name?
I think so.
Okay, it's phonetic then. Just how it looks is how it sounds.
Kurosaki.
That's perfect then. That's going to be just what it is. There's no weird pronunciation.
I don't know if I wrote a J, though. That's the thing.
Well, then the name can't jump out of a screen and write itself down for you. It can be easy to pronounce, but not write down. That's
Eric
on you.
Klein, Georgina Perkins, Herbie Carlos, Aaron W., what is this? Fondle Me Balls, and Dick B. Hardigan.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
Gotcha.
Wow, unbelievable.
Brock Ryder, Richie Wilson. Thanks, Richie.
Thank you.
Kayleen, what is this? Gabriel Savannah Martin, or I think. Or it's Gabrielle. I don't know. Amber Thomas, Rebecca Grigo, Anthony Fusen, Fiona Catherine Malone, Tommy Toshe, that's Brett Roberts. God damn it. Michelle Crotty. There's no fucking way. There's four Z's in this.
That's
scissors.
not gonna work.
What? Scissors?
That's not going to work.
She's the scissors are.
okay,
Haley Irwin, Tamara Nelson, Kathleen Rustad, Curtis Dev, Cynthia Buckley, Damian with no last name, John Gallipo, David H., Julie Fiorentini.
There you go.
Wilf Davis, Casey Roberts, Nathan Foster, Vivian Fernandez, April Kleinfeld, Timothy Jackson III, Jamie Phillips, Diane Walker, Michael Nitschke, Sydney Vittori, Jessica McCollum, Catherine Meyer.
Hey.
Nicole Dainzer.
Found it.
God damn it. Kate Gabriel with no last name. Sarah Forshey, Michaela Robbins Bruce, Olivia with no last name, Morgan McClincy, Jeremy Lazarus, Heather Miller, Jesus. Nope, that's Jesus. God, Lopez. Bryce Ricard, What? That's a K. Jessica Walkowski. Zachary Halverson. Pan not bi. Oh, gotcha. Like sexual. Okay.
Yeah.
Got to make me pronounce that. Charles Gallagher. Rachel Bell. Zach Halverson. I said that. Jenny Patterson. Rakeen. Jesse. What? Jesse Diaz. Joey Juggalogs. Benjamin Jacquard. Chrissy Ross. Kelly Corey. Alicia Gable, AJ Peak, Skyla McGee, Mimi John, Brandon Slade, Jimmie Rogers, Jennifer Fakwa, James Morrow, TJ Severn, Morgan Graham, Zachary Morgan, Katie Murdoch, Kayleen, nope, that's Kaylee Kuklis.
There you go.
Mark Allen, God damn it. Lavender Lane, dishing up clicks. Jessica Gerose. Irwin Jones. This is never going to happen.
It's hot.
I know. Zayandra Nipwapwa Gaddis. Nope.
That's a rough one.
Megan Lamrock, Austin Hanrahan, Cynthia Shira Shraya Indrani. Kara Anderson, Jai Cook, Christina, nope, that's Christine, Ann Matthews, Anne Marie Phillips, Whitney McGuffey, Cade Westbrook, Andrew Hunt, Dana Williams, Kelly Miller, Cindy Jordan, Elizabeth Hornberger, Amber Hatley, Crystal Gillespie, Line Solomonson, Lene, probably, L. Brown, JW22, Kevin McMurray, Gil Murray. God damn it. Jennifer, nope, that's Philip. Philip Mafalforce. Michael Constable, Jen with no last name, London, Virginia, Michaela with no last name, Roop Patel, Andy Gish, Rachel Mace, Nicole Glass, Jen Bruce, Jenny Lee Shank, Ryan Roovers, Claire Holupka, Denise Gwen, Andrew Korsleman, Jane Greaser, Andy Garland, Abby Johnson, Douglas Jones, Andy, nope, that's Travis Langley, James Pell, Jake Holt, Hesky, Keskia Davison, Shannon Ladeau, Shane Wheeler, Julie Ann, Tina, nope, that's Tia L. Fish, Aaron Diaz, Robert Lazuski, Nirali Bailey. Here's the thing. I wish I was an adult and had education.
You're doing great.
Allison Skillman, Derek McLeod, Mikey Giovanni Garcia, Colleen Kovash, Matt Kuehl, Declan Brooks, Declan. Carrie with no last name, Annalise Dupil. It's French. Don't look at me. Clark Faust, Gregors Brzezinski. What? No, it's not. Brzezinskiewicz. Grace Wilson, Sarah Galt, Jennifer, nope, that's John Cunliffe, Brianna Roscover, Seth James Silvashi, Katie Craven, Jennifer Wilson, Joe Gardner, C.R. Moe, Amy Lasher, Joseph Reynolds, Jen Decimio, Darren Dacey or Pacey. Oh, damn it. Patricia Maddox, Brandon Patterson, and it's also Mila's 16th birthday, so happy birthday. Thank you guys so much. I swear I will never go to school.
Thank you so much, everybody, honestly, for everything you do for us, and especially this week and every week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are fucking amazing.
It's wild, man.
You really are.
I'm really, I can't say it enough.
We're blown away.
Completely stunned by how much support we've gotten.
Yeah,
just because of you guys. So thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Jimmie. What if they wanted to say anything at all to you? How could they do it?
You can tell me that Barrett Robbins was arrested again at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you. What about you?
You can find me at Jimmie P is funny, and or just copy and paste my name. You know how that shit works. So with that said, thank you for joining us, everybody, for lasting through a gross episode.
Yeah.
Try not to have too many sexual ones in a row or anything like that. We spread them out.
Yeah.
So wild stuff coming up. We have like Kurt Angle. We have Charles Barkley. We have all sorts of crazy shit. Keep it coming. Keep coming back and listening over and over and over again. And live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.
If If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this white Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
with a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.